on your wrist a plain Jane.
The following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. What up and welcome back. It's your girl Jane, the plainest Jane, and we got some syrup to get into. We have our very nosy and very greedy co-host. Okay. All right. I pay you half up front and the other half at the bottom end. Okay. So you'll get the other half of your payment. See, because he be upset, right? Because I be having him working here on the channel, making his appearances. And he be feeling like, oh, I don't get paid. I'm not getting compensated. So I'm afraid that he's going to go to the PETA board, because PETA be doing too much when you don't treat the animals right. So I need to make sure I compensate him every show by giving him a treat or two. So he gets half of his payment up front in the beginning. And then if he makes it to the end, because sometimes he be doing too much and I got to put him out. If he behaves until the end of the show, he'll get the other half of his payment. Okay. So shout out to our co-host, Leo. Yes. Look at you. Say hey. Yes. Say hey. Okay. Yeah. It's nothing. There's nothing else going on. There's not. See, why you gotta be showing people this collar that you messed up? Because it looked like don't nobody take care of you. What's going on? All right. Come on now. Get down. Come on. Back down. Get down. This is not your show. Get down. Back up. Back up. Excuse me. Can I have okay, yeah. There's nothing else. Come on. You messing up the timing of the show. Some co-hosts, this is why it's so difficult to find a co-host. Hey, that's it. No more. Pray for me, y'all. Y'all pray for me, y'all. Because this co-host, he drives me crazy. Leo, get down. Get down. It's not a thank you, because it's not a question. He got a lot to say all the time. If you don't subscribe for me, okay, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so. But look, if you don't subscribe for me, subscribe for the cat, okay? If you ain't going to subscribe to a black woman, subscribe to a black brother. This is a black man right here, just trying to bully his mama into doing what he want his mama to do. So if you look, subscribe, okay? Subscribe. My co-host be off the chain. He talks back. He's sassy, moody, nasty, opinionated, all that stuff. Anyway, come on in, everybody. Come on in on the bus. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already, okay? Donating to the channel is completely and absolutely free, right? You don't have to spend any money. Although, listen, the Cash App is on the screen, okay? Feel free to send a Cash App or a Super Chat. Those things are very much appreciated, but they are not required, okay? So if you ain't got $1 or $2 to give a sister, make sure you give that thumbs up because it's free. And I know you already subscribed if you're here, okay? We got some things we need to talk about today. The pink sauce lady is still in the news, baby. The pink sauce lady is still out here saying dumb things. So let's go over a couple things that we need to say. Okay, shout out 85 of us in here. We're going to be talking about this pink sauce. She said that the FDA came to her home and did all this stuff. And then she took it back and said the FDA didn't come to her home. And she said a lot of things, and put her foot in her mouth further. We're going to talk about some rapper doing rapper things. One of my biggest fears is having a son and him wanting to be a rapper, because the rap industry and just the behavior of the majority of the rappers, it can be pretty catastrophic, truthfully. And we're going to talk about rapper Rollie bands, talk about Boosie for just a moment, but we are definitely going to get into Lake Lanier and how Lake Lanier is still Laniering. Okay, Lake Lanier is still snatching souls. We're going to go over the present and the history of Lake Lanier. We're also going to be talking about the entire police force and chief quit simultaneously down in North Carolina. We're going to talk about why they quit. It's obviously for an anti-Black reason, right? Y'all know over here I talk about the best Black news and cultural commentary, right? And then there's also a little bit that we need to get into as it pertains to the Weather Channel trying it. If you keep yourself in the know with the community tab over here on the channel, you already know what I'm going to touch on, but I want to know how you feel about it too, right? And I think I might open up the phone lines a little bit later. So if you want to call in, definitely make sure you're ready. Make sure you have a great internet connection, and make sure you have what you want to say or what you feel about the topics that we are discussing at the top of your mind. Okay. So if you have not already, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button, and listen, let's go straight ahead and get into this, shall we?
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
And we're back. Let's get into it. I hope y'all are having an amazing week. It is Tuesday. We are here before 7 o'clock. Your girl going live. Y'all know y'all always seeing me late. All of my stickies, right? I call my subscribers stickies. They always saying I be doing the elder abuse thing, you know, which is going live way too late when the elders either can't stay woke, or if they're trying to stay woke, they miss it, right? And it's not that I have like a ton of like 70-year-olds watching the channel. It's that sometimes we joke around and we call ourselves old if we over 30, child. And so, yeah, we ain't doing the elder abuse thing today because we went live before 7 o'clock. All right. And we have another show coming up this evening talking about the Black church. We got to get into this bishop that got robbed during the live stream because I got some questions. About that. So make sure you subscribe to this channel as well as the backup channel. We're going to be between both of those channels this evening. Okay. The backup channel should be linked down below in the description box. As a matter of fact, let me make sure I fix that right now so y'all can find it. It's also on the community tab as well. Okay, so boom. When you check down below in the description box, it's going to be the third link that you see. It's going to say at TPJ Network. Make sure y'all subscribed. Okay, now real quick, I hope that y'all are feeling all right. Shout out to your invisible problems and your mental health. If you haven't already taken a second to get those things together, click away from this video, get yourself together, and then come back. I'll see you then, because you know mental health is very important to me. Shout out to my new subscribers, shout out to my channel members, and definitely shout out to my mods. I appreciate all of y'all. Okay, we are a little less than 100 away from 10K, so the girl is excited, and I think I can make that goal by the end of the month. So by the time August 1st come around, I think I'm going to be at 10K, and I'm pretty pumped by that. Okay. Now, before I get into breaking down today's topics and viral events, please notice the shirt. I'm not trying to show you my titties, okay? But I love Outkast. Outkast is literally one of my favorite. It's more so Andre. See, it's the wrong side. It's more so Andre 3000 than anything. But shout out to Outkast in this shirt because I love it. Purple is my favorite color. Outkast is my favorite group. This is one of the best shirts that I own. Okay. And of course, listen, y'all, make sure you subscribe and thumbs up or down. Either way, I appreciate it. But make sure you think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. Now, let's talk about old girl. Let's talk about Shorty. Let's talk about Chef Pie. Chef P-I-I, who said the FDA showed up at her house. And then she said they didn't show up at her house and she don't need them and she don't need to go through them because I'm going to leave that blank so you can hear it for yourself. Because, baby, when I tell you she's ignorant as hell, and I'm not saying ignorant like stupid or as an insult, like the legitimate definition of ignorant, right? Like not the Ebonics, not the African-American vernacular English. We're talking about the legitimate definition of ignorant, which means you really just don't know. Like you really don't know. Wow. Let's get into that, okay? Hey, thanks for letting me keep you connected and in the know with what's happening in the Black world. Don't forget to smash on that like button for support and for more Black news. As if she hasn't already said a plethora, a large heap of things that really work against her, she said more. And shout out to the sticky that tagged me in this on Instagram, because I was already going to talk about her this evening, but I had a sticky. And drop some pancakes down below in the chat and let me know what you're having for dinner too. Drop some pancakes. And so I had a sticky that tagged me in this and they left some pancake emojis on Instagram. Shout out to them and let's listen to this.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain giant.
Keep talking about FDA approved. What do you mean FDA approved? I don't sell medical products. The pink sauce is not a medical product. The pink sauce don't contribute to your health. I never said that. Did I? Make it make sense in the stuff that y'all saying. Like, really, like, I'm gonna talk to y'all like I'm y'all mama, because I got 2 kids and I ain't got time to play. So since y'all want to act like children, I'm gonna talk to y'all like y'all children. I used to work at a middle school. Hello. Hello. How are you? Good day.
She reading the comments feeling stupid.
Y'all need to.
We need to what, baby girl? You used to work at a middle school? Baby, what middle school? Because I fear for them children or whatever the hell you put in their head. Because it's barely anything in yours. You think that the FDA is solely responsible for medical products? You are creating things for people to ingest, and you don't even know what FDA stands for. Because that's the bottom line of this clip here. You don't even know what FDA stands for. And I've just never seen such arrogance and ignorance fused together as one.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain giant.
Keep talking about FDA approved. What do you mean FDA approved? I don't sell medical products. The pink sauce is not a medical product. The pink sauce don't contribute to your health. I never said that. Did I? Make it make sense in the stuff that y'all saying. Like, really, like, I'm gonna talk to y'all like I'm y'all mama, because I got 2 kids and I ain't got time to play. So since y'all want to act like children, I'm gonna talk to y'all like y'all children. I used to work at a middle school. Hello. Hello. How are you? Good day. Y'all need to.
If saying it with your chest loud and wrong was a person, okay? I see there's somebody in the chat that said, let's go to the bush. You know what? We might as well.
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
It's too much. It really is too much. Let me tell you what else tripped me out. I went strolling on her TikTok, and I'm on there and I seen TikTok. They put this little warning. They slapped this warning on top of her videos. let me show y'all what it said. Let me show y'all what it said. This sent me to the heavens. Okay. It was a warning label they put over her TikTok video. It was a regular TikTok video. She didn't even have the sauce in the video. She was telling people, look, I'm gonna be talking about this on my YouTube later tonight. I'm gonna be addressing these allegations. Here go TikTok. They said, look, participating in this activity could result in you or others getting Not TikTok trying to have somebody back. They said, listen, whatever she's telling you to do, whatever she's telling you to eat, it could result in you getting hurt. Cracked me up. I couldn't believe this was on TikTok. If she don't get this pink oil moisturizer out of here, they said, I don't know what she's saying, but you're going to get hurt. Okay, TikTok. Not you trying to have somebody back for safety. I just can't. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, TD. I really, really, really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, participating in this video could get you hurt, okay? So look, TikTok said don't get hurt effing around with her because she's dangerous. All right. Oh, all right, so that's that took me for a loop. I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting in my office at work crying and cackling. You know, you work in the office setting and you see something funny on social media online and you want to bust out laughing, but you got to like hold it in and you sound like you wheezing, you cackling and all that stuff. That's what was going on. That's what was going on. Okay. All right. Now, let's peel back the layers of her in the FDA. Let's expose the lies, because she called herself going live trying to prove everybody wrong, right? I wanted to say us, but it's like me and pretty much 98% of the population, right? Trying to prove everyone wrong by saying that, oh, the FDA came to my house, right? So you heard the clip I played earlier, right? So I didn't play in that order because I felt like that clip was more damning than anything. I wanted to prove that she doesn't even know what FDA stands for. It obviously stands for the Food and Drug Administration, but she talking about medical stuff and whatever. So a few days ago, I want to say it might have been between Thursday and Saturday, she went live, maybe Friday or Saturday, she went live, captioned the video, right? And even posted it to the page, 2 separate videos saying the FDA came to my house. The FDA came to my house. The FDA came to my house. Let's pull back the lies from what she said, right? To what it really was, to her follow-up statement, just all of it, just complete and absolute smoke and mirrors. Okay? Let's go through this because, baby, I don't know why she keep going live and getting online, but she do. She sure do. Let's discuss this. Make sure you hit thumbs up if you haven't already. Shout out to Stacy Stewart for becoming a channel member. Thank you so much for becoming a Backstage Sticky. Make sure you check the members only community tab that only you can see. Okay, so the members, they get special perks. We get our own videos and our own posts, and we hang out backstage. It's a real lit vibe. All right, so let's get into what she had going on.
We haven't shipped out anything. We haven't shipped out any packages since, we have became aware of this issue. We also let our customers know that we are working expeditiously to correct any issues that we, are facing right now today for the pink sauce to be as successful as it needs to be, and also to show the people that actually support the sauce that it is safe, and we are taking the precautions to make sure that they are not worried about their health concerns.
Gotcha.
And we fixed the packaging as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, on the business card has my email address. Any changes you make to your label before you spend money creating something that might not be accurate yet. If you have like a draft copy, you can send it, and then I can approve it, and approve it and say, hey, you're good to go now.
Right.
And then at that time, we can also, next week, because we have a conference all for most of that first part of next week.
Okay.
After that, I'll be able to either revisit or discuss with you or call you to discuss it. I don't have contact information for you at all, though.
I will give it to you right now. You got my card? Nah, I need to get him my personal number. So yeah, y'all see?
Listen.
Legitimate business.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay.
You got a product. People think you're making the shit out of your house. This is for only out of your house products being made.
It's cool. It's cool. No, it's okay. He's gonna help me. Yeah. Thank y'all. Y'all got me help from the FDA.
Girl,
I love hate because God bless.
Girl, first of all, you need to focus on the people at your door and not the goddamn internet, because there's no business person that's going live trying to prove something to the internet when they really should be focused on getting their business in order. You just said the FDA is at your house. You said, look, y'all got me help from the FDA. You just said that. But what you said yesterday was
Rolex on your wrist, a plain giant.
Keep talking about FDA approved. What do you mean FDA approved? I don't sell medical products.
So why they at your door? So you claim. We're going to get into who was really at your door, because I know who was really at your door. And it wasn't the FDA. But you wanted to go live and you wanted to make it seem like, based off of what's going on social media, you wanted to lie and say the FDA was at your door. And they never were. But I'm going to tell you who was at your door, because now you lying saying they weren't there when you went live and you said they were there. But all right.
The pink sauce is not a medical product. The pink sauce don't contribute to your health. I never said that. Did I? Make it make sense in the stuff that y'all saying. Like, really, like, I'm gonna talk to y'all like I'm y'all mama, because I got 2 kids and I ain't got time to play.
Bye, ma'am. Goodbye. Let's hear the rest of what you got to say right here.
Blessed is his children who have pure hearts. Thank you so much. And so I'll just email you and we'll just stay in contact through email or text, or you can't do text, only call.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if I get your email, because you got my email on there, if I have something prior to then that I could relate to.
Tell me this, baby girl. And shout out to Oprah Winfrey in the chat. Yeah, we got Oprah in the chat. Shout out to her. Okay. Tell me this, baby girl. How the hell did the FDA, right, or anybody that pulled up at your house, how did they show up and they didn't even have your contact information? So they popped up, but they're asking for information from you so that they can stay in contact with you. But if they really pulled up on you, they would have already had all your information. Here you are giving them your phone number and things like that. You know what this means? You called a local organization at the state level, not the federal level, which the FDA is. You called somebody to show up at your house in your state, which is Florida, to make it seem like they was the FDA. And they weren't. But in the meantime, why? See, because nobody would have known had you not went live and exposed yourself. But you decided to go live and lie like it was the FDA, and it wasn't. But now that they're here, they're asking for your contact information, but they would already have it had they pulled up on you, your phone number, email, all that. So you called them there. Make it make sense. Girl, who you think stupid? Is that why you deleted the videos? Because baby, because I saw it in real time when you went live. I went back and saw when I was about to do this video that you had deleted it, but I knew somebody on the internet had it. And usually I do, but that's okay, because baby, I'm not wasting time in my phone, wasting space in my phone to save no Pepto-Bismol, Tintin Ranch and Dragon Fruit. I'm not wasting my storage space for you because I'm already out of space. But I'm glad somebody else had caught it. But wait. There's more. Oh, there's more. Yes, there is. Shout out to Got the Scoop for catching this piece, right? Because it was 2 different videos. Let's go ahead and hear what she's got to say here.
Hate because he's gonna help me. Yeah. Thank y'all. Y'all got me help from the FDA.
Mm-hmm.
I love hate because
Relate to you.
Okay. Yes, the FDA did come to my house, and I do not operate my business here in this live, so we can actually have a real conversation. But I just wanted to verify to you guys that I am a legitimate business, and yes, the FDA did come to my house, and I do not operate my business here, and we are getting everything corrected properly. Have a great day. He's gonna help me. Yeah. Thank y'all. Y'all got me help from the FDA.
Ain't nobody get you help, girl.
Hate because God blesses his.
And you see, this is the issue. You sitting up here lying, talking about y'all got me help. No, baby, you got yourself. You called this agency to your door. We didn't, because if they pulled up at your door based off of the social media uproar, they wouldn't need to ask for all that contact information. You sitting here on the video talking about, oh, we can keep in touch through text or email, which one, baby? What business communicates with the local or a federal organization to make sure that they are following all the guidelines that they need to follow? Where they follow up via text message. See, I was about to call you young and dumb. You're too green to really understand how a real business operates. Baby, you mixing all these different things. Let's get into who it really was at her door. They said, I blame the public school system. Ciao. Shout out to Dr. Nikki Prowden Walden, PhD. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Okay, so let's get into who this really was at her door, okay? Who it was at her door, which is maybe why she was confused. Who knows, right? We know she's a little dense, right? She's a little slow. And what it really was at her door, it was the FDAC. The FDAC, baby, don't leave the C off, right? So the FDAC, this was the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. But still, this is what the man said, because I spent time listening to the background ambiance and listening to what was being said, because she was busy trying to go live and trying to use that interaction to prove something to social media, and really it exposed her, which is why she probably should have had that encounter in private. But nonetheless, the man from the FDAC actually went forward to go ahead and say they wanted to know if she was selling the sauce out of her home or not. Now, mind you, there have been some videos that she's put on TikTok where she was in her home, in her room, the same home she's always, filming and broadcasting out of, where she was at home with a blender, with garlic, you name it, she had it. She's at home making it. So she's been seen making it online, right? So those were some of the questions that they wanted to ask her while they were there in person. Not to mention, this is also a product that she had created a nutrition label, and there was everything wrong with it. She said there were 440 servings in the bottle, which is absolutely crazy, because if there were 440 servings in the bottle based off of the nutrition label, there would be enough calories in it for it to be gasoline. That's a whole problem, and that's a whole nother conversation. Not to mention, based off of this nutrition fact, the nutrition fact, she also had spelled some things wrong, right? Outside of the quantity issues, she had spelled vinegar wrong. Matter of fact, we can zoom into it here. You see where it says vinegar? There's no E between the N and the G. It's supposed to be vinegar, but it's vinegar instead. Girl, what's going on? Girl, the FDA need to be at your house. But look, we're going to get into how you was halfway right about one thing, but not much. Because here's the thing. The FDA does not regulate sauce. So she's dodging. And here's the problem with people who go, who go viral online, is you have random folks trying to have their back and have their side without holding them accountable. And they say certain things like, girl, you don't need the FDA's approval for this sauce, which, to be frank, is true. Unfortunately, it's true. The FDA does not regulate sauce. They regulate the additives in the sauce. They also regulate the facility that you are manufacturing and creating the sauce in, but not the sauce itself. They regulate the additives, not the additives mixed together. So somebody had been in her ear saying, girl, FDA, what? You don't need them. So here she go talking about, FDA, what? I don't make medical stuff. Girl, it's not that you don't need the FDA because of medical stuff. You don't even know why you don't need to be FDA approved, but you were lying in the first video, the first piece of coverage that I did on this, lying and saying it was in the middle of testing and being tested to FDA standards and approval. So why was you on here, big cat, major cat? And you didn't even know what the hell you was talking about, and you still don't know what you're talking about. This is a sick Negro. Okay, this is a sick Negro, and I really wish the FDA, because I'm like, yo, the FDA has too much to handle on a federal level to be popping up at some random girl's house. This is the truth. Nonetheless, she's a sick Negro.
This is a sick Negro.
Okay, but let's get into the rest of what the FDAC, the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, had to say when they were at her door, right? They told her that she needs to send over a copy of her ingredient list and nutrition label to him before she sells any more product. He asked her why her label says milk on it, and she said that there was cross-contamination at the facility in which she creates or manufactures this sauce. You know, to be completely honest, it definitely seems to be ranch with some dragon fruit tint, with some pink tint. Not to mention the lack of consistency. We look at this picture right here on the screen. We can see on the far right, I mean, it is just dark, dark pink. Over to the left, it looks like it's pastel. The colors are not consistent, okay? The colors are not consistent. The one in the middle actually looks a bit darker than the one on the left and lighter to the one on the right, but nonetheless, right? He asked her why the label said milk. She said there was cross-contamination, and she included it on the nutrition label just to be sure. Also, the representative from the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services told her that she needs to change the way that she ships out her sauce. We know that she's been shipping out her sauce. I showed you the videos in detail, and even somebody recreating the sauce of her sending them out in regular bags like from the dollar store. They're showing up hot, melted, exploded. You've got people reporting that it smells rotten when they open the bottle. You've got some people claiming that they've been sick and they're in the hospital from the pink sauce. That is hard to verify, right? I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, right? But you do have several people who are in the hospital and saying it's because they had the pink sauce. So it's difficult to know if they're completely telling the truth, but it's easy to say that that's not a far-fetched probability of somebody getting sauce because she's shipping out things with mayo and or milk, right? They say it tastes like a watered down ranch, and she's not refrigerating any of it. Not to mention, she don't even know what FDA stands for. That's a concern. Listen, if you trust in this woman right here with your gut, you're just as not bright. You're just as dull as her. And I really do hope that you seek help sooner than later. Okay? Let's get into something else to prove that she's not that bright. And I've just never seen such bold, say it with your chest, loud and wrong, arrogance and ignorance mixed together. She refuses to stop talking and sharing things, right? She's, God help her. She deleted it. She deleted it. So she had shared an article, right? Let me go ahead and see. Let me go back to her page. See, baby, she posts and delete things. Then when she get tore up enough online, she turns around and deletes it. Or maybe she blocked me. Did she block me because she seen my coverage? Let's make sure. What's her name? Maybe she might have blocked me. All jokes aside, every single joke around aside. Let me see. Baby, when I tell you she might have blocked me, I mean that. I think she did. I think she blocked me, y'all. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out in just a second. Let me figure this out real quick before I continue, because I've got more receipts, right? She brought up citric acid on her YouTube channel. We're gonna talk about citric acid in a second. Girl, if she blocked that video, ain't even get more than 3,000 views, right? I'm nowhere near as big as I used to be. That would make 2 blocks today. Hello. I'm nowhere near as big or as am I as influential as I used to be? That's another conversation. But let's see if she blocked me. Let me go ahead and Google this. Okay. She can't block me on all 3 pages. Hello. See, because look, I followed her. But if Jocelyn blocked me. I had a random white woman block me today because I made a status about natural hair. And she jumped onto the status talking about, you black women get perms and you culturally appropriate the woman of the West. And what's wrong with you black women wearing your natural hair? Ma'am, not only are we not talking about perms or woman of the West, I made a status about black folk and black folk business. So how about you mind yours? How about that? Not to mention, stop saying black women get perms because, bitch, we don't. We get relaxers. You don't even know what you're talking about. So here I am making a status about non-chemically processed hair. And here you are talking about chemical processes and cultural. The nerve of you to bring your ass over here, Elder Karen, okay? Rachel, whatever, whoever the fuck you are, and talk about Black women appropriating white culture when I made a status about Black women in natural hair. Mind your fucking business, okay? And as soon as I tweet something and my people see it, a lot of people drop down and tweeted you back and you felt some type of way. So then you block me. Mind your fucking business, Karen. So today's been pretty fun and great. Okay? Okay? Sometimes being... How many times I've been blocked today? Go look. Go look on my Twitter. You'll see it. See, Twitter, I cause a lot of friendly chaos, but when I need to take the friendly off of it and just be chaotic, bitch, I'm gonna be that. Because mind your fucking unseasoned, bland ass business, Susan. Thank you. Okay? If you haven't already taken a moment to hit the goddamn thumbs up button, please, please make sure you do so. We'll be right back.
Did you just sit here and say that my daughter looks miserable, so maybe we should put Kalani in her place?
No, I never said that.
Yes, you most certainly did.
No, I didn't, dingbat. Listen, I said, Brooke, is your mother
Get your finger out of my face, girls out there.
Look how many people in here.
Let me see. How many?
Hold on.
I mean,
it's like 700 people in here.
I don't see no 700. You don't see
it's you don't see it? 700 right there. Yeah, 700 people right there. What you mean, Taya?
Look. Do that shit again.
Do what?
Do that shit again.
Do what?
You know what you just did.
What I do?
Do that shit again and see what happened.
But for real though, when I was at school earlier. What you doing, bruh?
I'm just waiting for the buzz. Oh, yeah.
You keep talking shit about my fucking kid, and you annoying me and aggravating me, and I'm trying to enjoy my
Rolex on your wrist, a plain giant.
All right, so we are back. My co-host tried to run away. Okay, looks like he's taking a page out of my book when I was a teenager. We had to bring him back. All right. So it looks like the pink sauce woman, right? It looks like looks like she's changed her Instagram. I don't know if she feels like the kitchen is too hot. You know, if they say if it's too hot, get out the kitchen, right? But she stay in the kitchen making the sauce, right? So I mean, what's what's going on? You're supposed to be a chef. I don't know what's going on, but her Instagram, it looks like maybe she changed her Instagram name. Maybe she disabled her Instagram. If anyone's able to find it, if anyone's able to find her Instagram, let me know in the chat. And thank you so much, Tony, for the $10 Cash App. I really do appreciate that. But let's continue. I can basically say, because I know the screenshot that I was going to pull up, right? The screenshot was her sharing an article where they were condemning her product. They were calling her sauce infamous. They were saying it wasn't edible. They were saying that people, you know, online are talking mess about it. And she posts this. It was a newspaper article. And she said, look, Ma, you know, the caption, you know how they say, like, look, Ma, no hands, whatever, whatever. Like, look, Ma, look what I did. Like, look, Ma, here's my accomplishment. And the comments, not only were they eating her up, but it's like, you don't say, look, Mom, when you about to get sued, because baby, you're going to catch a lawsuit. That's what's going to happen here. If you haven't already caught one naturally, there are going to be people lined up ready to set themselves up to sue you. There are going to be people who literally pay $20 to order your sauce. They're going to get sick on purpose by adding something else, and you're going to get sued. And whether you want to pay them or not, they're going to garnish them wages or make your life a living hell. That's just what it is. And so she's sharing articles like that. You know, she doesn't have any common sense. She really should not be the face of her business. It could still very well be her business, but you know how some people, they're not business savvy. And so someone else kind of needs to do the PR. She's supposed to be in the middle of a PR disaster. And instead, you said you on it right now, Chef Pop. I just checked that. Let me check. Let me check it from my business account. Let me check it from my other account. You on her Instagram right now? Let me see. I saw somebody say it. Chef.pii. She might really got a sister block, child. She might really got a sister block. I hacked the 70K. My sauce is run flavored. Child, she might got me blocked. I think that's what it is. I think that she's got me blocked. She got me blocked. She got me blocked. Shout out to King of Makeup for joining the channel. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I see you supporting a lot in the comments. And thank you so much to the Chandra Lachey Show for the $9.99 super chat. It says, I love your content. You have such a joyous spirit and you speak logically. I love it. Thank you so much. I really do. I really, really do appreciate. They said it's not there. Exactly. I don't think it's there. Because even when I'm searching for my other accounts, I don't see it. So I'll search again in a second when we play another commercial where there's another video to play. As a matter of fact, I got something to play right here. Okay. She went live on YouTube this weekend and did some more laughing, explaining, and deflecting. Right. And for you to be laughing when you playing with people's health, it's just not the business. It's just 100%. You shouldn't be laughing. I'm not like, look, I find almost everything funny. Right. And I do have a dark sense of humor and I have to bring it back in, especially because even me going live talking about certain things, it's just not appropriate to laugh. And that's what media training or having a business sense or being in the PR mode of damage control of your business is. This is not the time to be laughing. You didn't play with sending someone, let's say, a planner that they ordered and they didn't get it and you weren't here laughing. You're playing with people's health and their body and things that they ingest, and everybody don't play like that. It's leaving a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and not just a bad taste of your sauce, a figurative bad taste. Double entendre. Double entendre. Let's get into a little bit of what she has to say on YouTube. All right, let's take a look. Look, if you haven't already taken a moment to hit thumbs up, I see there's 240 of us here. We got 147 thumbs up. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button. It's free. Okay, you can send a super chat or a cash app, but you ain't got to. You ain't got to hit that thumbs up because it's free as hell. Okay, now let's get into what she had to say on the YouTube.
Okay, and then also I want to say that everything that we use comes from a store. There are preservatives, like y'all making a ruckus about the preservatives, and I'm like, y'all don't see citric acid and vinegar in the label. Lemon, those are preservatives. Vinegar is a natural preservative. Yeah, that's what I didn't touch on. But yeah, so you see that? And let me open it because, yeah, I am. Let's do this. I'm going to open it.
Yeah, that's one of the light bottles.
And we put Shake Well on the label too.
Girl. Oh, you just drinking it out the bottle? You just drank. Girl, you drinking it. It's me and her staring at each other right now. Because what? Not only do I know your sit-down air stink, at this point, I think your sit-down air stink more than Saweetie's. Because y'all know Saweetie diet be full of God knows what. All the munchies from the whole aisle of the dollar store. All of the snacks from 7-Eleven. Hot, spicy Cheetos. And an extra large Mountain Dew. At this point, your sit-down air stink more than Saweetie's. And I know your arteries is clogged, baby girl. I know you did not just open a bottle and drink some. And you drink it all day, every day, so you can make these videos for TikTok and online. How much of this are you consuming? At this rate, I'm concerned. You're loopy from this sauce. You've got a sauce high. Something's going on. Something's going on. Yeah. I'm not, baby. And then she got nerve to be looking at us like, what's she looking at us like that for? Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to explain what I'm tasting. Like it's just like bursting in there. So it's sweet. It's garlicky. It's tangy.
So everybody said you weren't even capable of describing your own sauce. So now here you are in the midst of all this scrutiny. When people are concerned about their health, their stomach, what they are ingesting, here you are. You know what? Let me tell y'all how it tastes instead of focusing on the health benefits. Girl, nobody gives a hell about you explaining how it tastes at this point. Focus on making sure it's toxic. It's non-toxic. Okay?
You can taste like the chilies inside.
She's just naming the fucking ingredients. She's just naming the fucking ingredients right now. And she's talking to her son right here who's off camera. You'll see him in a second. This face says everything we need to know.
All right.
Oh, Poppy want to try it. So this is my son. He ain't got no haircut right now, y'all.
My hair is a mess. I look like Dior.
Yeah, it's the summertime. He ain't got no haircut. You want to put on that? Or you good?
Yeah, sure.
It's okay. They don't see you now, Poppy. Come on.
What?
Okay. Yes, I have a son. And I have a son with allergies, y'all. He got allergies.
Oh, that's proving something to us. Because his allergies are the same as any and every consumer you could ever, have, Yeah, he's got allergies. That makes everyone else feel better. So thank you so much to the stickies in the comments who let me know that her Instagram page is not there anymore. She deleted it, hid it. She did something, okay?
I do care about people with allergies. But yeah, so go ahead. What does it taste like, Poppy?
A little bit of spicy, but not too spicy. Like, it's good, but I don't know how to explain it.
But did he help me out much?
He just like
I did.
Lord, she's raising another person that's just like her. Ooh.
He's talking about I did. Child, please. No, it's the lighting, y'all. So see the lighting. Let me get Pootie, because Pootie doing the most. Say hey to Pootie, y'all. This is Pootie.
Girl, forget that dog.
Yes, we love the pink sauce. And people who try the pink sauce love the pink sauce. Unless you're just not like a sauce fan or, This booty, y'all. Yes.
We can.
Not generic Pepto-Bismol. I thought it said garlic Pepto-Bismol. Okay, girl, bye. Because I just don't have a whole bunch of time for this. But let's just get it straight, right? She talks about this being a prototype. She talks about almost being done lab testing and this in the process. And then she moves forward to discuss the citric acid that we heard her talking about a moment ago. And honestly, when we talk about citric acid, sometimes citric acid is a preservative, but it depends. This is basic research that I did. This is very basic stuff, right? So citric acid being a preservative depends on how you store it and if you store it in a cool temperature. Now, it's the peak of the summer. All last week was 100 degrees, and depending on where you are in the country, it varies, right? All of the mailing conditions are not cool temperatures. We just seen a story where a UPS driver showed up at someone's home to deliver a package and passed out because there is no air in these mail carrier vans. From UPS to FedEx to the US Post Office, they don't have air conditioning in those vans because they feel like, oh, well, the workers aren't in the vans or the trucks enough for them to need air. Imagine that. Imagine that. So not only are the workers are being mistreated at these places, like, come on now. But these are not temperature controlled vans when you're sending them through the regular mail without any dry ice or anything, right? But also when it comes to citric acid being a preservative, it's not a preservative for everything. There are levels to preservatives and it's chemistry. And what you put with, right, the different ingredients and the elements that you're adding to things that contain citric acid, they can change a lot about the compound. And therefore, dilute it and not make it a preservative. So for you to act like the little bit of lemon or citric acid that is in your product is enough alone to void it of needing to refrigerate it, seek help. Help for your mind, right? Because I think you need an evaluation. You had too much sauce. And seek help for your business too. It's too much. It's too much. That's the literal excuse for the UPS. You're not supposed to be back there long enough to use it. Like, we've got somebody that literally used to work for the post office in the chat. There's no air there. So how do you think you're safely sending out these sauces with no, come on now. Come on now. Look, Stickies, here's what I want to know from you. Let me get her off the screen because let's just give it another 60 seconds to see if she says anything else incriminating. She says something incriminating probably every 4 minutes of her life.
But yeah.
I do not hate it.
Is he talking about the sauce? Is that her son? Child, her son said, I don't hate. Now, instead of saying, I love it, her son is saying, I do not hate it. Girl.
No, I'm hoarse, y'all. I've been talking all day. Y'all, I had a product shoot yesterday. So we did a product shoot for the pink sauce yesterday while all of this crazy stuff was going on.
Girl.
Like, can y'all imagine?
Yeah, girl.
Trying to handle business, trying to make sure everything is rolling out, and then boom, you got all of these people contacting you and blowing up your phone and like, girl, you here? And did you see these people talking about you? And I'm like, what? I know none of that. So it just made me go, well, what in the world is going on?
I'm done with you, baby. I can't really listen to much else that you have going on because nobody care about their product shoot. Another thing that's really interesting about you and all these business endeavors you go on, sweet girl, my sweet baby. My sweet baby is, does anybody in the chat, let me know. Give me a 1 in the chat if you own anything by Victoria's Secret by Pink. Victoria's Secret is their line, and then they have the Pink line through Victoria's Secret, which is kind of like for I think I would say a younger demographic, college or above. Do you have anything by Pink from Victoria's Secret? So outside of the regular lawsuits based on people's health, you also got, is Victoria's Secret finna come after you? Pink sauce? Because that looks a little similar to the Pink logo. Can I get a 1 in the chat if anybody has anything from Buy Pink from Victoria's Secret? Because she's got quite a few things that she needs to be worried about. Okay. 95% of a batch can be majority citric acid and 192 proof alcohol. Anybody? Okay. I think she might have a couple of things to worry about. All right. The Fame Calm Network. I know you got some pink sitting over there at home for your girl or whatever like that. But nonetheless, no, I hope that this girl, let me get into my final thoughts and unanswered questions as we move past this girl. Because this girl, she really doesn't cease to amaze me with her very unique blend of arrogance and ignorance. I almost have never seen anything like this on full display. So let's get into my final thoughts and unanswered questions. The following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more Black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. Okay, so I'm gonna share my final thoughts and unanswered questions down below in the chat, and you share yours down below in the meantime, right? If you're here live on the bus, let me know. If you are chasing the bus, which means you're watching the replay, let me know your thoughts. And, you know, when it comes to this girl's long-term success, I think that there is no room for grace for her. None. I don't think that she's made it easy to have any grace for her moving forward. You know, based off of her attitude and the nonchalant, giggly demeanor, right? We got with this is something that's really serious. If and when she ever messes up again, will anyone be quite as understanding? Right? You know, a lot of times you get to court, whether it be the court of law or the court of public opinion, people take into account the level of remorse you are able to convey. She doesn't seem remorseful at all. She seems argumentative. She seems combative with people who are truly concerned about things that they and their friends may or have digested, right? And that's just not the way to go. I said in my first piece of coverage from this, a couple of things that people don't play about is their money and their food. They don't play about their money and their resources and how they're going to live the rest of their lives around whatever discrepancy may arise within their money, right? Or dispute. People also don't play when it comes to what they eat. And, you know, based off of this and how she's handled it, it doesn't leave any room. People also don't play about their health, their body. She thinks it's a joke. Every time she goes live, it's a laughing matter. Not cool. I would honestly say she'd be lucky if she doesn't catch a lawsuit by the end of the year. She would be lucky. I'm anxious to get to the next subject, but God forbid she makes any more mistakes or gets anything else wrong. No one's going to have any empathy for her because she's already showed more attitude than remorse. And you know what? That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. King of Makeup says the font is the same. I'm literally wearing a pink short set right now. Hello? Victoria's Secret, where you at, child? And yeah, she is very immature. Talking about I got 2 kids and I taught middle school and I worked in the kitchen. I'm concerned for the kids that you taught and whatever the hell you put in their head. I'm concerned for every person that you've ever served or made food for. And then this business it's just But look, those were my final thoughts and unanswered questions as it pertains to the Pink Sauce CEO. But I pass the question off to you, Stickies. What are your thoughts and where do you land with this story? Where do you land with this story? Someone said the K is very suspicious. She didn't do any research. If she doesn't even know what FDA stands for, I mean, are you really trusting this lady with your stomach? Is that what you really are into? I don't know. Any and all thoughts? I am anxious to hear what you all think as we continue the conversation down below in the chat and or comment section. Let's keep the conversation going, okay? Let's move on to the next subject because, Lord, that took a lot longer than I wanted it to, but, you know, sometimes these things require combing through with a fine-tooth comb, okay? What I need to do is I need to give you a trigger warning, okay? Because we are about to discuss something that I just feel like it hasn't gotten nearly enough coverage as it needs to, Okay. So I'm giving you a trigger warning. And I would recommend, look, if you're going to be bothered, and I'm just showing the images. I showed the video in the last in the last video. I showed the clip of what actually happened with this man's encounter with the police. So if you're hypersensitive to police brutality, you might want to either fast forward a little bit or maybe like click away, hit mute, whatever. Because we're about to just get into this really quickly because this is something that they want to be shared. Okay. So has anyone heard of Brandon Calloway? Brandon Calloway. Does anyone know who Brandon Calloway is? We spoke about him. I spoke about him in the last video before I went to the movies to go see Nope by Jordan Peele. I have my opinions about that, although I need to go see it again. Some people say yes. Some people say no. Shout out to Tarian Rain Reloaded in the chat. Shout out to you. Amazing content creator. You all should go subscribe. Matter of fact, let me find his there it is. You see that screen name right here on the screen. Make sure you go subscribe to that channel. It's an amazing, amazing channel. Okay. And shout out to Burgundy Blue Commentary in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to them as well. Okay. So really quick, I just want to go over this again. I know I went over it in the last video, but y'all know how the mainstream media is. It's up to us indie, us, smaller Black content creators, bloggers, platforms, journalists. It's up to us to really keep things like this in the media because things like this, they're brushed under the rug. Okay. And so when we talk about Brandon Calloway, we're talking about a situation, right, where this gentleman on July 16th, he was brutalized by the police. He was just driving for DoorDash. Brandon Calloway is a 25-year-old college graduate. He's a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. He was delivering food for DoorDash. And yeah, these pictures are pretty graphic. Okay. That's why I gave you the trigger warning. I want to actually give you a picture of what happened to him next to his graduation picture, just so that you can see what type of a person he is, right? So this is a really unfortunate situation, but let's go through some of the details. On July 16th, 2022, he's delivering food, working for DoorDash when he was brutally assaulted during a traffic stop by Oakland, Tennessee officers. They alleged that he failed to stop at a stop sign and that he was doing 32 miles in a 20 miles per hour zone. He feared for his life and he drove half a mile to his home. He ran into his house. Police broke down the door. They tased him severely, beat him with their batons before dragging him out of the house to arrest him. He was beaten by 3 officers total, in which he was actually struck in the head with the baton, which is why his face is covered in blood. And when he was dragged outside of his home, he was barely conscious. And an officer stepped on his neck while he gasped for air. Now, I showed the video of him gasping for air and of them actually stepping on his neck, the symbolism within police officers literally using their force, whether it be a knee or a foot, using their leg to really step on someone's neck says a lot, right? It was a bloody situation, a gory situation. As you can see, these images are very gut-wrenching, and the video is even worse, right? And so when officers seen the young lady who was recording the encounter, and specifically the part where his neck was stepped on, she was recording it, the officers snatched her phone and threw it across the room, which shattered the screen. The phone broke. Now, young Black men who are driving for DoorDash still hasn't responded or made any statements, right? But when we talk about young Black men driving for DoorDash, like a Jalen Walker, who was murdered by police with 60 to 90 bullets and confronted for traffic violations, they shouldn't be murdered or nearly beat to death, especially when they manage to arrest armed white mass murderers without putting as much as a scratch on them. This is blatant anti-Black, white supremacist violence by race soldiers who wear hoods instead, who wear hoods by night and badges, right? They wear hoods by night and they wear badges and blue uniforms by day. So Black people are instant targets for power-hungry police officers. Brandon and all of his siblings and frat brothers are asking that people share the photos, that they share the footage and stories so that the public is aware of just how vile the Oakland, Tennessee, this is where this took place, Oakland, Tennessee. They want to show how corrupt and how vile the Oakland, Tennessee Police Department is. They want to keep the story alive and they want to seek justice. This is the reason why I've been speaking about this situation like I have. I get it. It's not the most, relaxing subject. It's not the most entertaining subject, but Black news doesn't always entertain, laughing and joking at social media or celebrities or what's going on in the real world. That's a part of it, right? Because Black folk, we can make a joke out of anything. But there needs to be a balance, right? And Black news definitely involve things that happen to everyday people just like you and me. And y'all know when we on the Black news bus, it's a social media stroll. We go through what's going on in the world, things that affect everyday people. And in addition to talking about what's happening with the celebrities. So this is something that I definitely wanted to go over again. I really don't see anybody talking about this. And it's really unfortunate, especially because he wants to keep it alive. A lot of people, they would feel, you know how embarrassing it would be for your face, even if the mainstream media isn't talking about it, for images of your, bloodied, worried, scared face, to be online, you know what I mean? Especially when we talk about like an image like this, a lot of people would say that that's embarrassing, right? Because who wants to see, who wants their incapacitated or nearly unconscious body, online or spread to the masses? No one does. But the bravery of this young man to want this story to continue to stay alive. And so I'm honoring his wishes, his frat brother's wishes, his friends and his family's wishes by keeping the story alive and speaking on it when I can. I know it's not a pretty story. I can see that literally 50 people have left since I've started talking about this story. But look, it's something that needs to be discussed, right? It's not all just fun jokes and laughs when we talk about Black news. So that's something that I definitely wanted to talk about. It doesn't make me happy. This is a story that is very disheartening, but I got to do my due diligence as a journalist, right? It's not always satire and jokes. So let's get into the next situation, right? Let's get into the next situation. I really hate stories like that. And it's not that I hate them like I hate talking about them. It's just I'm an empath. So that's that situation. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to talk about, hey, Madam of the Mess. Thank you for stopping through. I'll see you. I'll be seeing you on these YouTube streets. All right. Yeah, I'm happy he survived as well. I'm happy that the woman recording it it's still here too, because you know how dangerous it can be to either want to intervene, right? He's like running behind his couch and all that other stuff. People who want to intervene, or even people who are recording, they're in danger too. Don't forget all the trauma that the woman who recorded the George Floyd situation, don't forget all the trauma and all of the harassment she went through following that situation. They were upset that she captured that moment because they wanted it to be in secrecy. So, it can be a lot. Our relationship as Black people with the police and how we feel about them in large, it's warranted for us to have some natural disdain for them, if you will. Okay. But let's go ahead and turn this around. This bus. We've been through 2 topics. The last topic was pretty goddamn heavy. Okay. That's still over 200 of us here. And shout out to all of us who are still here. And thank you so much for hitting the thumbs up button if you haven't already. But also, if you haven't already taken a moment to subscribe, definitely make sure you hit that button and subscribe as well for the best breaking Black news and celebrity commentary, cultural commentary as well. Okay, let's keep it pushing. Let's keep this bus going. Okay. The following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more Black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. All right, when we get into the next subject, and I see I have a cash app. I'm gonna get to that in one moment. Ebony M says it's uncomfortable. I remember in college reading an essay, something like, "Can you be Black and read this?" It had to do with harrowing stories about us that's tough to read and hear about. Absolutely. And I remember this quote. I wish I could remember who this quote was by. I don't want to name the wrong person, but I do remember the quote was something like, to be woke, and woke has a different meaning now, but basically to be enlightened as to what's really going on as a Black person, our history, the whitewashing of our history. To be woke and Black is to be in a constant state of rage. And that's the truth. If you really realize all that the government, all that this country, and all that they're doing to us, Black people, you're going to be in a constant state of rage. And minding your mental peace and finding a way to balance that out it's a different path. For all of us. All of us don't do it the same. Some people can just unplug. Some people want more. Everyone's tactic as to how they maintain their mental peace is different, but I recommend all of you do it. And that's why I give you a trigger warning before I get into talking about stories like this and showing things like this. Okay. Tarian, I hope I'm saying Tarian right. Tarian, Rain Reloaded sends a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. It says, lucky this didn't happen in Arizona because they enacted that bill to not record cops within 8 feet. I spoke about that over here. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that if you're within 8 feet of a cop, they don't want you to record. And why is that? Why is that? I can't wait to get into it. I'm going to get into 2 subjects down from this about Justine Jones. When we talk about holding the police force or police officers accountable for their actions and how they view that as, a great rule of thumb is a lot of people view accountability as an attack, but yeah, that's crazy. So you're risking your life to try to save another by recording it. And I know some people are like, when there's stuff happening with a regular fight or the police and people are recording, people are like, why are you just recording it? 3, 4, 8 cops against one person. What am I going to do to stop it? What am I going to do to stop that? Stop it, break up the fight and walk away with my life, my sanity, my kids, and my livelihood intact? No. So recording is kind of the best you can do to try to get justice for that person. Nobody could have jumped in and saved George Floyd, but luckily somebody recorded it and we are able to memorialize and get a lot of, talking points. And beyond talking points, it's just really get a better understanding of what's going down as far as Black folk and police brutality in America. Okay. So, let's get into the next story. Okay. We've got another story about a rapper. And, the last situation, this was like, this was police brutality, right? Luckily, that man lived to see another day, and he's still here. Thank goodness. We get into the next story, and I feel like the rap game is dangerous. It's not like getting in the studio is dangerous. It's the life that these rappers are living outside of the studio that is dangerous. This just so happens to be a rapper in a situation. And let me know if you've heard about this down below in the chat. Drop a 1 if you know or if you've heard about Rollie bands, and drop a 2 if you haven't. Let me keep it honest with you. I didn't know about Rollie bands until I saw this story, which is the only reason I'm talking about it. I feel like rap culture is so dangerous. People don't respect rappers unless they got street cred, but street cred is dangerous. If you're a rapper who was a nerdy and got, on the honor roll all throughout high school and college, and you're really good at calculus and geometry and, government classes, nobody respects you, but your life is more so guaranteed. But if you do some of the street and the hood stuff, all of a sudden you get respect, but then you risk and or lose your life. How many we got to see? Young Dolph, XXX Tentacion. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, Biggie and Tupac, that was a while ago, but how many rappers have we lost this year? I can't even keep up because the rap industry is not, it can be kind of toxic, so I don't follow it closely. And I can't remember all these little Tay J, I just can't keep up with all these different names. I just can't. But like, what's going on? This is a Tampa, Florida rapper. His name was Rollie Bands. He was reportedly murdered outside of his apartment complex moments after inviting his enemies to his place of residence. We can see right here on the left, says Rollie Bands. It says a lot of these niggas, they know where I live at for real. I sleep in peace. If a nigga wants to smoke, I'm at my crib in 5 minutes. Literally 3 minutes later, them niggas pulled up and they ended his life. First of all, them niggas shouldn't have known where you lived. You should have moved. You're a target. Second of all, inviting them to your home for what? Now your family, your friends, I don't know if you had any kids. He was shot in the parking lot of his apartment complex around 3:30 on July 22nd. When the deputies arrived, they had learned that the suspects drove away in the scene in an unknown direction. They still don't know who the hell did it. But he was talking to them in their stories. He said, pull up in 5 minutes. 3 minutes later, he was gone. He signed his own death certificate. This is sad. This is beyond sad. And I just, rap is so dangerous. As a man, anyway, the women rappers, you don't see them getting shot and killed. You see them like serving a couple years, you know, shout out to Remy, shout out to Lil Kim, but you don't catch them dying like that. You know, they've got more of the typical catty behavior to just get on, you know, beef with other women or get on their nerves or whatever the case is. Catty spats, not deadly spats. You don't see female rappers saying pull up, da 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 da. You see these men doing it, and it's crazy. I fear for Lil Durk. I'm like, you always in some mess, but I mean, I fear for him, but it's just like I can't put too much energy into caring about these men who don't care enough about themselves. I can't, you know, and I'm an empath. That's why I just don't really take a lot of time to learn the other stuff that's going on outside of these genres, because I'll get upset. I'll get upset when I cover a story and I'm too close to something. I'll get upset, which is why when I was covering the Uvalde tragedy, I realized, I said, you know what? I know I'm really good at covering things like this. I'm really good at keeping a lot of details in my head and realizing where the problems lie and when and where there are inconsistencies. But it started making me sad. And those of you who know, you know, I had went live on my lunch break and I had cried because I'm like, look, y'all care more about the Will Smith slap than y'all care about these kids that got slaughtered. This is a problem. But nonetheless, look, these are the, but let me know how you feel about the rap game. Do you feel like it's safe? If you had a child who was like, Mom, Dad, I think I want to rap, how would you feel about it? Would you feel like, okay, cool, let's rap? Or would your heart start beating fast? Because mine would. But let's move on. This is a really unfortunate situation. I send my condolences to his friends and family because, you know, his parents, his aunts, whoever, they've got to deal with his loss and they've got to plan a funeral and go to a funeral. And then you got to think his aunts, his uncles, his parents, they're elder. Whenever his funeral is, these rap guys, they're so, impulsive and unhinged that they show up to funerals and start disrespecting the body and people's parents. I did a story, I think back in March, April, where a woman went to go, and it's a lot of gang and street stuff tied into this. A woman goes to her son's grave, not too long after his death. She goes to his grave, the ops, because he was in the streets in that gang life, the ops shoot his mom while she's standing at the grave paying respects to her son. So this gang stuff I saw, I think it was like the young Dolph Merle was just destroyed overnight with paint. People be dead and people still be trying to disrespect anything affiliated with these rappers and these people in the streets. It's dangerous, not only for you. I feel like these people, sometimes I feel like these rappers are selfish when they get caught up in the street life, because it's not just you got to worry about. It's your family too. And they're just trying to give you a proper burial and pay you your respects. And they're putting their life in danger just doing that. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It really does. It does. That's why I'm like, I can't stay close to the rap stuff. I really can't. I get too emotional. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker. I get emotional. But nonetheless, I want to know what your thoughts are on it, Sticky. Any and all thoughts, make sure you let me know down below. How do you feel? Did you know about Rollie bands? See, I don't even know their name. Rollie bands. Did you follow him? Was he always like this? Did he become like this? Any and all thoughts, let me know down below. Let's get into the next story. We're going to talk about Lil Boosie, child. Speaking of Let me keep it respectful. Let's talk about a stupid rapper, right? I feel like a lot of rappers make a lot of stupid decisions, right? But I don't want to speak ill of the dead, right? The last story. But Boosie is a stupid rapper, okay? Unfortunately, his stupidity can be funny, but it's always like not funny when it comes to the people and the things affected surrounding it. Like Boosie is a fool. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. I just laugh at his ignorance all the time because he is a fool. Let's get into what he said the other day, child. Child, he got to talking about comparing weed to hairspray. Yes, he did. He sure did. Let's go ahead and get into that. Okay.
I ain't do shit. Yeah, I smoke around my kids. You spray hairspray around yours. You smoke cigarettes and blacken my eyes.
Now, what the hell do hairspray got to do with you smoking weed around your kids, Boosie? Boosie, tell me that. Boosie, tell me that.
I ain't do shit. Yeah, I smoke around my kids. You spray hairspray around yours. You smoke cigarettes and blacken my eyes. Yes, I went got on. I was full of pills. Let me tell you what else. I ain't no shit. I was full of weed, pills, angel dust, all that. Tootie came from the hospital. I had a blunt like this. He was right there. Yes, I do. I hear what people try to tell you what you want to do. They turned out real nice. They're not in jail. Your son in jail. Don't tell me about my fucking children. I'm telling you. If you won't leave, baby, go ahead and leave, baby. I ain't do shit. I'm gonna keep saying that, little Tracer. Hey, I got that comeback. What have I actually done? I ain't gonna know. And I gotta have one woman on the side that really don't give a fuck. You wanna do, baby?
I cannot.
I ain't do shit. Yeah, I smoke around my kids. You spray hairspray around yours. You smoke cigarettes and blacken my eyes. Yes, I went got on. I was full of pills. Let me tell you what else. I ain't no shit. I was full of weed, pills, angel dust, all that.
Boosie, not you talking about your parents grew up and you caught elements of angel dust and all that. Boosie, we can tell. We can tell. Okay? Look at these eyes. Look at these eyes. Boosie always looked like a sleep-deprived bed bug. Okay? These eyes be jaundiced up. He be on here saying whatever in the world. Look, Boosie. Boosie is a hot, ignorant mess.
Tootie came from the hospital. I had a blunt like girl.
Tootie came from the hospital. So your son came from the hospital and you was smoking a blunt in front of the newborn child.
He was right there. Yes, I do. I hear what people try to tell you what you want to do. They turned out real nice.
Hold up. He was giving a little bit of Bernie Mac. Hold up. Listen.
Yes, I do. I hear what people try to tell you what you want to do.
I hear what people tell you what you want me to do. What the hell?
Yes, I do. I hear what people try to tell you what you want to do.
Tell you what you want me to do. Come on, America. Boosie, please get the hell out of here.
They turned out real nice. They're not in jail. Your son in jail. Don't tell me about my fucking children. I'm telling you. If you won't leave, baby, go ahead and leave, baby. I ain't do shit. I'm gonna keep saying that, little Tracer. Hey, I got that comeback. What have I actually done? I ain't gonna know. And I gotta have one woman on my side that really don't give a fuck. You wanna do, baby?
The music made it better. If it wasn't for that music, child. See, Boosie. Shout out to Tamika's Den in the chat. I see you. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Tamika's Den as well. Look, Boosie, the correlation between hairspray, weed, and angel dust, I'm gonna need you to get it together. But you know, Boosie is incapable of getting it together. Don't we know that? Don't we know that by now? Boosie can't get it together. It's only 8:25, child. Boosie can't get it together. When we talk about rappers out here, I'm just can somebody point me in the direction of the rappers who ain't out here asking to die, saying ignorant stuff like this? I guess, you know, you got a little Kendrick Lamar there. Okay, not little, right? Let me take that back. You got Kendrick Lamar. J. Cole really not doing much of anything nowadays. Chance the Rapper not really doing much nowadays anyway. I know a lot of people feel like Kodak Black is so talented. I see the hype. I don't get it because I think Kodak Black is a fool. I think he's a fool. And I don't think he was always a fool. Rap. And we already know all this. Oh, you know what? I missed a super chat from Sunstar. Sunstar, you sent the $10 super chat. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. It says, thank you, Jane, for covering Brandon Calloway. Exposure is the only path of justice. Alpha Phi Alpha appreciates you. Hey, shout out to you. I didn't know you were an Alpha Phi Alpha. Thank you so much. I randomly remembered that. But Boosie's a fool. But I just wish rap had better representation, more intellectual representation. You know, when rap started way back in the day, it was more of you know, a poetic. It was more of a poetic thing, right? For you to flex your intellect and your ability to hold things. So I can't. Lupe Fiasco, where he's at? Where's Mr. Kick Push? I did F with Lupe. What happened to him? Did he like go under a rock? Yeah, what happened to him? And thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Micheline, I think I'm saying that right. Pierre, he's so cringy to listen to. I can't with all his misplaced anger. He's always from 0 to 1,000. Yeah, I mean, he's doing a Vlad interview every other week, if not every week, and it's just crazy. Instagram always getting deleted. It's absolutely bananas. So yeah, Boosie. Not Kodak be having them bars. Jay-Z's too big for prison. So yeah, you know, Boosie always got something crazy to say, but you know, sometimes I can laugh. Y'all remember I dragged Boosie for filth when he said that R. Kelly didn't deserve 30 years because the white pedophiles ain't getting 30 years. And baby, first of all, not only is white not the standard, but just because one pedophile may not get a significant sentence means another pedophile should get off. No, it's not that R. Kelly needs less time. It's that the white people need more time. Say that. Don't say that R. Kelly don't deserve 30 years. He needs to be out sooner. He needs to get the same lackluster sentence that's not holding him to task as a white pedo. No, they both deserve the umpteenth sentence. That's what the advocation should be about. Okay. So let's get on to the next story, though. We got enough of Boosie. I'm tired of because Boosie always look like he misses sleep. He ain't got no sleep. He always looking like he got about 45 minutes of sleep a day, and he just get up and he just be on go, just looking for a nook and a cranny and somewhere to go. Like that's just what he be looking like. And so let's get into the next story. We're gonna take a trip. We gonna drive this bus on down to North Carolina, shall we? We're gonna go down to North Carolina with this one. Make sure y'all hit thumbs up if you haven't already. Okay, we got 214 thumbs up. I appreciate all y'all. We're gonna be right back and drop some pancakes in the chat, shall you?
So let's see if you're really proud about it. If you've been serious about what you've been saying about wanting to support more Black-owned businesses, here's your chance. I found a spot for us to grab our hats, hoodies, affordable electronics, phone accessories, and gadgets from. It's over on edwerso.com. That's EDWERSOW.com. Grab something for your hubby, your wife. Hey, I ain't encouraging that side chick behavior, but it's just in time for the holidays. So head on over there and grab your AirPod cases, hoodies, and affordable electronics. That's edwerso.com, EDWERSOW.com. And I'll see you over there. It's time to face it, boo. Your product needs more exposure. If you want to see your ad here on my channel, be sure to shoot an email over to yt.theplainestjane@gmail.com and let's chat. But if you're new in my neighborhood here on YouTube, hey, I'm the Plainest Jane, and I provide coverage and commentary on trending stories, viral events, and Black culture. I definitely appreciate you stopping through and hitting that subscribe button if you like more of my particular brand of syrup.
All right, and we are back. Let's get into some additional topics that I want to discuss today. And honestly, there are only a few more topics that we need to discuss and get through, and then we're gonna come back for another live. I'm hitting y'all upside the head with content because I know I said I would go live yesterday if you were checking the community tab, but I felt a little sick yesterday after I ate. It wasn't the pink sauce, don't worry, or was it? Do I have a lawsuit? No, it wasn't the pink sauce, but I was not feeling the best after I ate. Excuse me. And I had kind of just fell asleep without even knowing, but I felt a lot better when I woke up. So let's get into some other stories real quick. Are y'all tired or are y'all entertained by Andrew Caldwell pretending that he like women's? Andrew Caldwell, he cracks me up. I'm telling you, he Daddy told her to come over here and take this picture. What'd he say? Taking all the women. Now, Andrew know God dag on well. He don't know how to play with women. He know that. Why is he playing these kind of games? Why is Andrew playing these kind of games? Are you entertained by it or do you want him to stop? Drop a one in the chat if you want Andrew to stop pretending like he's delivered from homosexual, because that's what he called it. He said, I'm delivered from homosexual. Not delivered from homosexuality, but delivered from homosexual. As if you can be delivered from your sexual orientation. Are you tired of it? Number one in the chat. Drop a one in the chat if you're tired of it. Drop a two in the chat if you're entertained by it. I'm entertained by it. I'm a 2 all day with this one. He loved pretending he like women. Child. He don't even look natural next to these. Look. He don't even look natural. What is going on? I'm with you, Jen 2 Fit to Quit. She said, too, I truly want him to continue this. Exactly. Keep it up. Keep it up. What else we going to laugh at? Shit. America's in flames. We need to laugh. Keep it up, buddy. Keep it up. Let's move on. They said his edges lay better than hers. That's true. That is absolutely true. Oh, I ain't got Tyra Banks on nobody yet. That's cool. Let's go ahead and let's get into the next subject. And again, thank you all so much for hitting thumbs up and for the cash apps. I see I got a couple more. But I don't want to hold y'all up by trying to read. But thank you to the folks who have sent cash apps. I do really, really appreciate that. All right. So when we get into this next subject here, okay, let me know if you've heard about this. Can you imagine Andrew on top giving you loving? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Have you heard about this story from North Carolina? North Carolina town's entire police force quit in protest over the new town manager, who is a Black woman. Now, why do y'all think they all quit? Don't worry, I'll wait. Why do you think that this group of white cops and the police chief quit as well? Why do you think they quit when a Black woman became town manager? You tell me. The entire police force quit in protest. Let me tell you why I feel like it's bullshit. Let me go ahead and start there. Okay? Let me tell you why I think it's bullshit. R. Clark, yes, I know you were waiting for that clip, the on the bus clip. Let me tell you why I think it's bullshit. Let's get into these details and then I'll tell you why their reasoning is bogus, right? An entire North Carolina police force has quit in protest of the town's newly hired, progressively responsible town manager, right? They're claiming that she's created a hostile work environment. Now, down in North Carolina, the town is Kenly. Kenly Police Chief Josh Gibson also, he made a shocking announcement in a Facebook post on Thursday saying that the assistant town manager and a key clerk had joined him and his 5 officers in quitting in protest. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead. Damn it. Did he take his damn statement down? Did he take his statement down? He might have privated his page. That's all right. There are a couple of publications who actually have it, and I'll probably be able to pull it up later, but we're going to go ahead and read it. Okay. So here's what the police chief said as he quit in unison with all of the different police officers. He says, I put in my 2 weeks along with the whole police department. He served there for over 21 years. He says, the new manager has created an environment that I do not feel we can perform our duties and services to the community. She took her position literally about a month ago. She hasn't even been there a month, right? But they're claiming she's created a hostile work environment, but they have yet to elaborate on how. I'll leave it there, then I'll tell you how I feel in a moment. He made it official with a formal letter of resignation, and noting that he was the longest running chief in the area, he said he felt his force was had recently made substantial progress in dealing with unspecified ups and downs. Keyword, unspecified. He goes forward to say, however, due to the hostile work environment in the town of Kenly, I don't believe progress is possible. So he didn't identify her as the source of the complaint, but he did do that on social media. Neither the post nor his letter spelled out specific grievances the officers had against her. However, the accident police chief told a news publication he would consider staying if she was dismissed. So he's trying to flex his seniority. He's trying to flex how long he's been there, right? He's been there for 21 years. He made that known in his letters as he exited. I'm the longest standing police chief and I'm leaving. And then he tells the publication, well, I'll come back if she go. I'll come back if this Black woman decides to go. Okay. So this town is, they've got a lot in their hands to deal with. They do have a lot. I do have his letter of resignation that we can take a look at right here. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in. He dated it 7/20. Justine Jones, town manager, town of Kenly. Please accept this letter of resignation from the position of chief police effective 2 weeks from today. My last day in the town will be on August the 3rd. In my 21 years in the police department, we've had ups and downs, but especially in the last 3 years, we've made substantial progress that we'd hoped to continue. However, due to the hostile work environment now present in the town of Kenly, I don't believe progress is possible. I'm thankful to this community for having me as the longest running chief in Johnson County. I truly will miss them, blah, blah, blah. But he did put a post on Facebook. And honestly, he had a boatload of support under there, but he did have a boatload of people calling him out for his mess too. I would assume that, and mind you, he couldn't have possibly blocked me, right? Sometimes I speak out against people and they block me because they just don't appreciate how I'm coming, holding them accountable or calling out their BS. I hadn't said anything to him. I didn't engage with any of the statuses or the comments. So I do believe that he has now privated his Facebook because I did see his status on Facebook the last 2 days. I kept rereading it and making sure it was real and like blinking and clicking on it. But it seems as though he's made his Facebook private now since it's not pulling up. It's not pulling up now. But here's what I will say. This is a very unfortunate and obviously anti-Black racist, situation. But there are plenty of people willing to stand by her side, which is so beautiful. So, so beautiful. I've seen quite a few people on Twitter who work for surrounding police forces in areas, and they are considering moving, because basically what they're trying to do is run her out. If they don't have any police, I'm trying to think, there are a couple thousand people what the population is in that area. Population of about 2,000. Boom. Now, mind you, this left only 3 part-time officers to run and to answer 911 calls to a population of 2,000 people. 3 police officers, part-time police officers, and they were already short-staffed before this even happened. 3 police officers to a population of 2,000. That would typically force a town into getting rid of her to get back the rest of the police force and the police chief. That's not what they've done. But there are plenty of people who do have this woman's back, and praise goodness for them. Oprah says, I would replace them with all my cousins, and shout out to Oprah. See, because Oprah know what it is. Okay? It says, despite outrage, Kenley Council stands by Justice Jones after the entire police force resigns. You can see someone here holding up a sign that says, we support our town manager. There are a lot of people, a lot of residents of this area who speak about how racist. It's no secret that this is a place that's down south. Okay. And we know, listen, racism exists all over the place. When we talk about America, it's in all 50 states, all 50, even Mexico, which ain't a state, right? New Mexico is a state, but Mexico ain't, right? But you know, it can get especially worse down south. So this is North Carolina. We can look at this piece of information here that says another resident, Cynthia Kirby, tagged the resignation as a racial issue. She said, quote, they don't want to be led by anybody Black. That's just Kenley for you. They're always harassing Black people. It's racial. I hope this doesn't end in her quitting, because that's not right. You can't judge anybody because they make you do your job, end quote. So it's a matter of, is the town going to let her go because they don't have enough staff? Or is this woman, is Justine Jones going to feel so burdened? Because you can imagine with her being the town manager, there's a lot that she has to deal with, having this severe shortage of police officers, 3 cops to a population of 2,000 people. I wouldn't put it past these cops to go cause ruckus and cause issues on purpose just to stress out, right? And to strain the 3 police officers who are left. Will she leave? I hope that she stays. And there are some people who are part of law enforcement who aren't too far away, who are looking to relocate and who are willing. From what I've seen, this town has basically called on the surrounding areas and counties and regions to assist with their 911 dispatch operations, and they are willing to step up to the plate, and anytime that they need help, they're stepping in to assist. I guess these officers that quit figured, look, they're not going to be able to survive without us, and maybe they thought that the surrounding counties would be on their side as well. Maybe they thought the surrounding counties would also be like, oh no, we're not going to come over there and help you, but that's not what they're doing. That's not what's happening. It's 2022, not to say that it's much different, right, than the times our parents and our grandparents have lived in. But for everybody to just say, hey, we're not going to service this town because there's a Black, town manager, that's just not happening. Excuse me for cracking my neck, because some of y'all tell me that y'all can hear it. Excuse me, but this is a really unfortunate situation. Here's the reason why I think that it's bullcrap. It's bullcrap because they're calling this a hostile work environment, but they're yet to list a reason or how it is actually a hostile work environment. See, the thing about Karens and Kens, because Karens are not just women, Karens can be males too. You can have a penis and be a Karen. Okay. All right. The thing about it is, when Karens get to complaining, they have a really savvy, crafty way of listing off all of the ways and the reasons as to how you're wrong, even if they're pulling it out of thin air, right? Even if you drove past their toe and grazed it, you rolled over my toe, it caused this injury, you did da-da-da. None of these cops can name how or why there's a hostile work environment. Why can't you elaborate upon that? Because honestly, if she was creating a hostile work environment, you'd have no issue outlining how and why the environment is hostile that she's curating. Why can't you? Because in typical Karen fashion, they always do. Don't think that a Karen or you know, a printer paper colored person with privilege, right? With all of the audacity, the caucasity in the world, is experiencing something that they feel like is hostile towards them, and they are incapable of articulating how it is hostile to them. Because hostile is what? It's putting you in danger. It goes against your well-being. It threatens your livelihood. Why can't you name what's going on? Is it the accountability that she might impose or inflict? You know, so for me, this sounds a lot like you're the type of cops, right? Follow me. You're the type of cops. Remember, I was talking about Brandon Calloway earlier in the stream. Black man pulled over, you know, bludgeoned, right? Beaten, police brutality, no reason, standing on his neck, right? It sounds to me like this might be a town where these cops do things like that. They would have done something like that to a Brandon Calloway, and Justine Jones it would have came across her desk and she would have called it out and or attempted to hold the cops accountable. Is accountability hostility to you? Is it that you can't be openly as racist as you used to be and anti-Black? Is that what it is? Is it that you can't openly discriminate, even discriminate within your paperwork, in your police reports? Is that what it is? Because for the life of me, I can't understand how a whole police chief and the whole police force can quit and nobody can come up with an explanation, right? You came up with a reason, but you can't explain it. That's like somebody saying it's not fair and not being able to explain it. It's not fair. How is it not fair? What's going on? Why can't you explain what's going on? What's so hostile about it? Is the accountability going to be hostile? You can't openly discriminate against Black folk, pull them over, beat them up for no reason? Is that what it is? Because that's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. Thank you so much to T Lounge for your $5 super sticker. I really do appreciate that. And you know I enjoy your channel too. And thank you, Gentoo Fit to Quit, for your $5 super chat. It says, I'm sure all she did was place her bag down on her desk. Hostile environment. I saw Gentoo Fit to Quit also said all she did was put her food in the microwave with some seasoning salt, and that was hostile. Right. It was the seasoning. It was her seasoning chicken or something. That's what it was. Okay. What's hostile? What's hostile? I hope they get replaced, and I hope that she keeps her position. I hope that they really don't run her out. Truthfully, they still think that they have the power, and maybe in some places and in some capacities they do, right? To create another sundown town, right? Which leads me to my next story. Or it leads me to my next story. Do y'all know about Lake Lanier? Does anybody here know about Lake Lanier? Right? We're going to get into Lake Lanier in a second. Before we get into Lake Lanier, though, let's talk about the Weather Channel. And this is just a really quick one. And then we're going to get into Lake Lanier. Drop a 1 in the chat if you know about Lake Lanier and how eerie it is. Drop a 2 in the chat if you have no clue. Do you know what Lake Lanier is about with the number 1 in the chat, or number 2 if you don't? Okay? Let me know. Okay? In the meantime, a lot of y'all know. A lot of y'all know. You've been there. It was fun. Give me your black card back. Give me your black card back, Fame Call. All right. So look at what the Weather Channel put on a billboard. Hello, Des Moines. This is Local on the 8th. This is your weather, my niggas. And when we say my niggas, it's the hard ER. A hard ER. Now, this is what the Weather Channel put out, and they confirmed that they put out, right? You can see the a couple letters are blurred out, but you already know what it say, NIGGERS. The Weather Channel confirmed this by saying this did not originate with us, and we're in the process of investigating it further. A spokesperson confirmed this, that this graphic containing a racial slur accidentally made it on air in the Des Moines market this Thursday. Accidentally. This is your weather, my niggers? Really? Really? See, this is not an accident. It's really not. It's not an accident. They want y'all to believe it's an accident. They want us. I guess maybe they think we're still as foolish as we used to be. But it's not. It's not. Do y'all think this was an accident? Drop a 3 in the chat if you think it was an accident. Drop a 4 in the chat if you don't think it was an accident. Let me know. A 3 in the chat if you think it was an accident. A 4 in the chat if you don't think it was an accident. Someone says, we are not our forgiven elders. Our elders were pretty forgiving. They were. And there is a sentiment, right, that I'm still working through, right? I'm still figuring out a way to articulate. A lot of times when we say we are not our ancestors, some people could take that as disrespect because our ancestors were really just trying to survive. And it's not that all, look, that's a whole nother conversation. So I don't want to disrespect them, but they came from a different time and they tolerated different things for their own reasons, right? And I'm not knocking them because we have a lot more freedom in this day and age than they had, although we're still dealing with nearly all of the same effed up elements. But the Weather Channel decided to say that they think that it likely this slip of the tongue, slip of the slur, somebody sat in the newsroom and typed this shit out. Okay? They say it likely originated at the cable head end, but they're still trying to figure it out. So y'all think the cable network did it and y'all didn't. That's how y'all going to shift accountability to the cable. So anybody down at the cable head end can just like log into y'all stuff and type whatever and throw off y'all broadcast. That's what you telling me? I see a lot of 4s in the chat. A lot of y'all, right? I don't see not a single 3 in the accident. I don't think that this was an accident. Miss Parker said it's a distraction. Accidentally? First of all, I didn't even know anybody was still watching the Weather Channel for weather updates. Like, how are they even still in existence? Number one. Number two, I want to see a hardcore apology. You came out and said that this didn't originate with us, but where's the I'm sorry? Where's the I'm sorry? This should have never happened. It aired on your platform, regardless of wherever you think it came from. It made it. It made it. Okay, you had the founder of the Weather Channel saying that climate change is a hoax a while ago, but that's a whole nother thing. Let me just click on the Weather Channel and see if there's an apology. I'm pretty sure there isn't. 3 hours ago, no apology, y'all. Not a single. I mean, it's like business as usual with them. I should tweet them every day until they. That's what I should do. But look. This is what's going on with the Weather Channel. It definitely blew my muffin cap back blue. It definitely blew my muffin cap back blue because this is not an accident. They tried it. They completely and absolutely tried it. They're gonna say it was hacked. It might have been somebody's last day. Stop. Just stop playing. Stop playing with me. Right. Isn't the Weather Channel owned by a black man? Listen, if it was supposed to be anything that was endearing due to it being owned by a black man, it would have at least been with the A. Even though that would have offended a lot of people because there ain't a whole bunch of black people that still be watching the Weather Channel. Okay. But the hard ER told us all that we needed to know. You weren't trying to, you can watch a Revolt TV, a BET, some of the blogs, and they might use the N-word. You know what I'm saying? And we might not take it as a slur because we understand the ownership, who's saying it. Us black folk, we can get the tone and the cadence. But the hard ER told us all that we needed to know. It told us all that we needed to know. Melanin Queen, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Melanin Queen says, so they're admitting to being racist. They just didn't want the public to know it. I can't figure out why they even word it that way, even though they're bringing you the news to all demographics. Yeah, we know how disrespectful the hard ER is. Like, come on now. Come on. It's just not. It's just not. I do hope he gets to the bottom of it, but at the very least, he could issue an apology. He could issue an apology. Is that difficult to do when a mistake like that happens and it comes from your company, your business? There's no mistake about it. You've admitted that it's coming from your company. Like, we got to do better. Moving on, let's get into Lake Erie, child. Lake Erie. Ooh. Let's get into Lake Erie. So there's something that happened on Lake Erie, which y'all know I'm big on Black history. I just love it for whatever reason. I really enjoy Black history. And a lot of times Black present and Black history, they come full circle. So we're going to get into our Black history moment. Drop some pancakes down below in the chat. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button. Definitely make sure you do so. But also make sure you subscribe. Your girl trying to hit 10K before the end of the month. And the end of the month is actually the end of the week. So we got like 4 days and some change to go ahead and make it to 10K. But let's get into our Black history moment, which is going to tie into our Black present moment. You'll see in a second. Let's go.
Now, let's spend a little bit of time with our ancestors, or at least listening to them, because you know they always tell us you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. So let's get into a little bit of Black history with this Black history moment.
They got me in the system. Why they gotta do me like that?
Got love for y'all, which I don't know.
About the get down. Say it loud.
All right, and we're back. Some of y'all caught that I called Lake Lanier eerie because it is. It is eerie. Lake Lanier is very eerie. Let's get into this. Did any of you all see this? Shout out to ATL Uncensored for capturing this. I tweeted about this over the weekend, and the tweet kind of blew up a little bit. But that wasn't the point, right? If you know about the history of Lake Lanier, let me know down in the chat. And definitely, if you're in the comments chasing the bus, please type all that you know about Lake Erie, because Lake Lanier, because there's a lot of information. I'm going to give my set of information, but there are a lot of other people who I do enjoy seeing similar information, but worded different ways. So definitely let me know what you know about Lake Lanier down below in the comments and in the chat. But look, Lake Lanier is it's a dangerous lake. Do you know what Lake Lanier used to be? This is a boat in flames, right? A boat was in flames over the weekend. And there have been just an endless amount of people who have drowned, been hurt, and honestly never seen again on Lake Lanier. They still, despite all of that, they get 14 million visitors a year. The lake is 176 foot, and it's in Georgia, and it's really not that far from Atlanta. It's about an hour out from Atlanta. But there's a really dark past. The ancestors right? I feel like there's a lot of malicious energy encapsulated in Lake Erie between demonic energy when we talk about like racism, KKK, all of that other stuff. And we also talk about our ancestors who unfortunately died there, right? So the dark history, right? Because there are a lot of angry souls there. It goes back to 1912. There was an 18-year-old white woman. Her name was May Crow, and she was badly beaten and presumably raped, right? We're going to say raped because that's the more PG way of saying it, but y'all know, take away the G, presumably raped, but she was really badly beaten and she died of her wounds, right? And they had no clue who did it, to be honest. They had no clue who did this. And there were 3 Black men who were accused of it, right? And that was just the lay of the land, the law of the land at that time. Someone gets hurt, namely a white person, they about to go harass all these Black people and ask and try and find someone or pin it on someone if they have no clue. And so the 3 Black men who were accused of this, they were, subsequently lynched. Torian, that's probably something I need to get into. Thank you for mentioning that. I had no clue. So I probably will watch that from the beginning. So this 18-year-old white woman, badly beaten, presumably raped, died of her wounds. Unfounded accusation that it was 3 Black men who were lynched. You had night riders, right, who ran all the Black people out that town. They ran all the Black people out that town. And if you don't know what night riders are or what they were, whether they wore hoods or not, whether they called themselves Klansmen or not, that's what they did. They intimidated Black folk because they had more power. We were oppressed at that time. Not that we aren't oppressed now. But they ran all the Black people out of that town and they declared it white man's land. That's what they did. And they stole our ancestors' land, right? They stole all their property. This was at the time, again, this is 1912. So you're talking about some people who were actually born into slavery, who actually, before they, ended up passing, they ended up owning land and having freedom. But just because they were free didn't mean they weren't free from the oppression, the discrimination, and the mistreatment of white supremacy, right? And so imagine being born into slavery, actually owning your own land, having an acre, having your own house, and being driven and forced and ran out of your town by night riders. This is what happened. They're Black property. They were homeowners. They had to leave all that they had behind. And these were decisions that they had to make in the blink of an eye. Living long enough again to flip it, to gain freedom and to gain ownership of their own homes. They were doing things, the night riders, right? They're throwing fire bombs in the churches, right? You know what a fire bomb is. You got a bottle, something, boom, a cloth, gasoline, whatever, boom, throw it into a church or a building to blow it up, right? Throwing it into Black churches, obviously, right? Many died and many had to leave their families behind. And this was just a really unfortunate situation, not to mention all of the different cemeteries that were there. There were burying grounds, cemeteries, slave cemeteries, regular cemeteries, but definitely slave cemeteries, which that's just that, right? Let's talk about how reckless the government was at that time, okay? The government at that time decided that cities that they could care less about, they would flood them out. They decided that they wanted to flood and flood the entire towns. Again, because the government was so reckless at that time. So all the homes, all of the cemeteries, regular cemeteries and slave cemeteries, you know what they say, if you are esoterical, if you believe in spirits in any way, shape, or form, if a spirit dies in a violent or a cruel death, they are not happy and they wreak havoc because of how they died. It was tragic, right? And that's basically what it is. And so you just imagine, out of all the drownings, out of all the drownings, all of the lives that have been claimed on Lake Erie, all of the Black people who died there. You had some people, and I'm about to play a clip for you, right? Just a 2-minute clip of one of the last living people who had a living ancestor at that time who had to flee the town. They left everything. I mean, like in the middle of the night, these night riders came into their homes and they had to flee. All of the pictures of their family, you had some people who lost siblings and brothers and children and wives because some of them had to swim across a body of water in order to try to get away from the fire, the mobs, the Klansmen, so on and so forth. So this was a really, really unfortunate situation that happened at Lake Erie, and Lake Erie has not stopped claiming lives since then. It is a dangerous place, and people still fucking around and finding out. You know, if they say if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. People are still going. People are still showing up. So let's get into this clip really quickly. So that we can really get into some of the history of Lake Lanier. Okay. And thank y'all for hitting thumbs up on the video.
So they really had kind of a miraculous farming growth here while the rest of the state was really struggling.
But then residents were abruptly forced off their land.
So the flashpoint, I think, is 1912.
This takes us back to the death of May Crow. The 19-year-old white woman was found dead in the woods near Oscarville, presumably after being raped.
Typically, the answer to white girls being raped was go to the Black community and just start blaming people.
By nightfall, terror began to reign over Oscarville.
So from there, the rage and hatred in the community, mobs got together and they were called night riders, and they were riding throughout Oscarville and driving out the Black community.
And the night turned deadly. You know, they were waking up by fires outside, fire bombs thrown in the church.
Filmmaker Bob Mackey recaptures those horrific nights in an upcoming television series.
Anytime anything happened, guess where everyone would go? To the church. Well, they attacked the church. People were hung, lynched.
Mackey's series features stories of direct descendants like George Rucker, who can trace his family back 4 generations to Oscarville. He tells the story of his great-grandfather, Bert Oliver, and the entire family being forced off their land.
Night riders came through. They had to leave everything. The main thing they left was property, and my grandfather had 100 acres.
Rucker says many relatives died as they tried to flee.
So when they got to the Chattahoochee River, from what I understand, they were told, when the mob got up on the bridge, they were told that they either had to swim or drown. Most of them didn't make it. My grandfather, one of them that did make it, he lost some brothers and sisters.
He says his relatives who survived settled in Gainesville.
From what my mother told me, Bert Oliver, he would sit and tell her this story, and he would just sit and cry.
Crosby says whites in the area took over the remaining properties. She says Oscarville farmers were specifically skilled in raising poultry, which set the pace for Gainesville eventually.
So
they really had kind of a miraculous farming growth here while the rest of the state was really struggling.
But then residents were abruptly forced off their land.
So the flashpoint, I think, is 1912.
This takes us back to the death of May Crow. The 19-year-old white woman was found dead in the woods near Oscarville, presumably after being raped.
Typically, the answer to white girls being raped was go to the Black community and just start blaming people.
By nightfall, terror began to reign over Oscarville.
So from there, the rage and hatred in the community, mobs got together and they were called night riders, and they were riding throughout Oscarville and driving out the Black community.
And the night turned deadly. You know, they were waking up by fires outside, fire bombs thrown in the church.
Filmmaker Bob Mackey recaptures those horrific nights in an upcoming television series.
Anytime anything happened, guess where everyone would go? To the church. Well, they attacked the church. People were hung, lynched.
Mackey's series features stories of direct descendants like George Rucker, who can trace his family back 4 generations to Oscarville. He tells the story of his great-grandfather, Bert Oliver, and the entire family being forced off their land.
Night riders came through. They had to leave everything. The main thing they left was property, and my grandfather had 100 acres.
Rucker says many relatives died as they tried to flee.
So when they
100 acres you had to leave behind by means of survival. That's why I'm really careful when I say we are not our ancestors, because I mean, I get what it means, but there have been some people who have dissected it, and I won't say that they're wrong when they say that, listen, y'all are being disrespectful when you say we are not our ancestors. I get both sides of the coin, so I try to be careful when I say that. Nowadays, we can more so stand up against and speak out against racism and white supremacy and still have our lives at the end of the day sometimes. But when it came to our ancestors, they really didn't have a choice. They really didn't. It was, I can stand up and tell you what I'm about to tell you and say that this is wrong and effed up, and I'm not going to take it before the fire hits my body and I die, you know? So I see both sides of the coin, and I think that would make for, you know, honestly, a really great conversation, and maybe even a great live stream we could have here about our ancestors and how our ancestors affect the fight and what we're going through, especially when we talk about like FBA, like foundational Black Americans. There are a lot of people who have issue with our ancestors' current state and what they have to say about where we are or where we aren't as Black people in America. But they were definitely dealing with a fight or a flight situation. So
got to the Chattahoochee River, from what I understand, they were told when the mob got up on the bridge, they were told that they either had to swim or drown. Most of them didn't make it. My grandfather, one of them that did make it, he lost some brothers and sisters.
He says his relatives who survived settled in Gainesville.
From what my mother told me, Bert Oliver, he would sit and tell her this story, and he would just sit and cry.
Crosby says whites in the area took over the remaining properties. She says Oscarville farmers were specifically skilled in raising poultry, which set the pace for Gainesville eventually.
So that's that, right? And thank you so much. Welcome to the Now, because I definitely got caught up in the details of the situation without giving as great of a summary as you gave right here in the comments. She says, welcome to the Now, says y'all. Basically, she's saying there's a whole city under all of that damn water. The town of Oscarville is under Lake Lanier, and they flooded it. They flooded it out because the government was pretty reckless at the time. They didn't know what to do. With, not to say, I'm not making excuses, right? Because the government definitely ain't on our side. But they were more reckless and impulsive with the way that they would make decisions about flooding out certain places, certain cities. And there was a lot of Black history and Black ownership and so on and so forth there. They flooded it out, and look, there are not a lot of happy souls living underneath of Lake Lanier. That's just what it is. Damn, is you one of them? Is you reincarnated? What's going on? Leah, what's going on? No, we didn't. We wasn't asking for all of this. We wasn't asking for all this. Can you move? Yes, I need you to move. I'm talking to the people. I'm talking. Can you get down? Thank you. Is he a reincarnated ancestor or what? Like, what's going on? What's going on? With the cat. Yeah, you was swimming in a flooded city. Fame calm. Get it together. So yeah, I had posted this tweet. I said there's a boat up in flames on Lake Lanier. The ancestors are busy. When will people learn to stop playing in the devil's swimming pool? And I showed this little man here, right? And this tweet literally went crazy. And some people felt like, oh, are you saying that the ancestors are demons? You saying no, I'm not. I'm obviously not saying our ancestors are demons, right? I'm saying that I think there are two types of energy encapsulated there. Not to mention part of it is like a throwaway joke, right? Like not everything is so literal when it comes to the things that we say, but most of us know not to go to Lake Lanier because of what's there. And again, you've got the energy encapsulated of the racism and the lynchings there. And then you've also got our angry ancestors that are like, okay, you're going to keep fucking around, you're going to keep finding out. And I think that both of those energies are encapsulated there. So that was the reason for the tweet. And the tweet went crazy and I had no clue. I forget, I think I was driving back from getting my Rona test and I saw that tweet had blew up and a lot of people were like adding and mentioning and things like that. But I do think that there's dual energy that is trapped and or encapsulated there. And that was the reason for that tweet. Welcome to the Now says, I want to know why this is happening and for so long. When does it end? Racism is a disease. And it's a play on our lives. It's disgusting. It's mentally straining and it's painful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not Leo says, speak on it. Why does he talk back all the time? He a sassy cat. I guess I gotta be honest and say he get it from me. I'm a talk back ass type of person. And I think I've had Leo for about 7 to 8 years. So he knows how opinionated I am, how sassy I can be, and he picked up on it. I guess that's that's just what it is. He always got to talk back. Yeah, he's got opinions. But no, Lake Lanier though, honestly, you know, the boat is on fire. Look, it's beyond them just drowning people. We remember that was it that woman from Glee or High School Musical who had drowned there recently? Remember her son was in the boat. If y'all know her name, put it in the chat. There have been so many people. There was another person who a famous football player who had drowned there as well. Just countless people have drowned there and they keep playing around. Like, look, I get it. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, right? And Scooby-Doo and all the little Ghostbusters and different things like that. They seem to be very fake, but stop acting like the ancestors aren't real. They are angry. They were ran out of their own town, but things that they had owned and that they had worked for, things that they never even thought that they would be alive to own. I mean, acres of land. Nivea Rivera, that was her. Naya Rivera, I'm sorry. Stop acting like they're not real, right? Black folk, like, you know how we are when it comes to a fake haunted house for Halloween or a real haunted house. Stop playing when you know a place is creepy, it's eerie. I ain't with that. Let your black person kick in. Let your black card kick in. Oh no, I heard this be going on. I ain't doing it. Let me call that black common sense, right? You got regular common sense and you got black. We don't be playing with creepy stuff. You go into a house and all of a sudden Get Out pops up on the wall and the blood is what the fuck I'm gonna do? I'm about to call Amy and them and take a picture and call them over. I'm about to get out. Stop risking your life on this lake. There have been so many people who have died on Lake Lanier. Stop playing these type of games. Now the game is changed. Ain't never been no boat on fire on Lake Lanier. So from the drownings, people falling, boats on fire, these ancestors are angry. The energy encapsulated there is not cool. Don't go. Don't go. Let the ghost hunters and the printed paper color people, let them go there and try and get their paranormal activity footage and all that going on. We gonna watch from the side, if even that. I'm gonna need to watch from a couple miles away, and I'm gonna need a telescope that zooms in that far. Stop playing these games. Stop it. Lake Lanier is going to continue to Lanier. And you know what? I don't blame it. If my soul was killed like that, ran out of things that I own like that, I'm pretty sure I would still be angry as a spirit as well. It ain't no telling me to stop. I don't know what it's like to be a spirit or to not be alive, right? But like, let's just use a little bit of common sense. You can go ahead and not be esoterical and not think that spirits that die in a malicious way are angry and think that those spirits aren't going to catch revenge. But go ahead, fuck around and find out if you want. Fuck around if you want. Okay? Mess around if y'all want. It's be careful. Be careful. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Now. Listen, for all my Black people who still want to go to Lake Lanier, I'm going to get Tyra Banks to tell you a little something. Watch this.
But you're not. Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. You go to bed at night, you lay there, and you take responsibility for yourself.
Stop playing. Stop playing these games. Okay. But where do you land with Lake Lanier? Would you go? Would you book a trip? Would you get on your yacht, get on your motorboat, go have fun, turn up for the gram with your friends? If it was cheaper than the town over or whatever, let me know. Let me know. Any of our thoughts are down below. And even if you will go, let me know, because I can't wait to have a conversation with you in the comments and really understand where you're coming from with this. Okay? Be sure to tag me in all of your favorite topics on Instagram, on Twitter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the phone lines, right? And that's if anyone wants to call in, right? If you want to call in, let me know, right? Only if you feel, if there's something pulling it, if there's a point that you want to make about any of the topics that we have discussed today, be sure to call in. If not, don't. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the sticky note. Okay. I'm going to read the sticky note. We're going to get in with that. While I read the sticky note, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for you all to call in. If you want to call in, cool. If not, all right. That's great. So I'm going to read the sticky note. If anyone wants to call in and get in the queue, make sure that you do so. Okay. Before we read before we get into any of the sticky notes, we get into our members only thank yous, commercials. First of all, thank you to all my channel members. I do appreciate y'all. Thank you to all of my moderators. I do appreciate y'all. So I'm going to play this members commercial. We're going to get into the sticky note. I put the link in the chat to call in. Matter of fact, let me drop it one more time. Call in. Drop that link. If you want to call in, do so. Let's get into this commercial. Let's get into the sticky note, see if we got any calls, and then we're out of here. Because I want to come back and I want to talk about the pastor that got robbed, the bishop that got robbed. Yeah, I want to talk about that. I got a quick thing to say about TD Jakes. Nothing much. There's not much you can really say about. I mean, not to say there's not much. There's a lot I could say, but I figure let's just keep the church topics all in one video. We're gonna get into TD Jakes, the pastor that got robbed. Why I do not believe that the situation was legitimate, right? And we'll see what else we're gonna get into when we come back in the next stream. Okay, so make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Okay, I know I ask y'all to do that a lot, but that's because I need y'all to. Y'all remember, I am rebuilding my empire right now. Drop some pancakes down below in the chat if you haven't already. Drop your special emojis if you are a channel member. We're going to be right back with the sticky note and to take your calls if there are any. Okay, We'll be right back.
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
So wait a minute, you ain't joined the channel yet so that you can access special perks over here with the plainest Jane?
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Ooh, watch this. Hey, I'm the plainest Jane. I'm a cultural commentator and informant, and I provide sticky coverage on trending stories, black news, black culture, and everyday topics with a sticky, abstract perspective. So get familiar with the perks. I've carefully curated all of these things, and it's just a little exclusive glaze to amplify the way that you express yourself. So get comfortable, get used to our official emoji over here. That is the pancake stack, because it's always sticky in Hollywood and in real life, and especially when you spend the time over here with the plainest Jane. Like I said, I hope you enjoy the exclusive glaze that I've provided for you to amplify the way you express yourself, and I hope you enjoy the digital vibe. Hey, listen, I always want you to keep it sticky, but be sure to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. But most importantly, I hope that you're feeling all right, and hopefully you've had some time to tackle some of your invisible problems. I know I got a couple of new subscribers, and I just want to say thank y'all. I really do appreciate you. And if you're not quite feeling all right, this channel right here, once you join, it's going to help you kick back and decompress always, but it'll also keep you in the know with what's happening with the best black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. So again, get comfortable. The first drink is on me, all right? Act like you got some sense, and I'll see you around. But don't forget to keep it sticky 24/7 by following me on Instagram, but hit that notification bell so that you always know when I upload and you get your dose of syrup first. Now, with all that stickiness being said, the most important thing I want you to remember about this neck of the woods and the plainest Jane is Black Lives Matter. And if you don't agree,
Buy pumpkin. That would take you out. I don't play that shit.
Now you gotta go for real.
it's just that simple. Hey, look, whether you join or not, I do want you to stay beautiful, black, and blessed. And just know I appreciate your support. I'm your girl, the plainest Jane. And let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right, now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now.
And we're back. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and thank you so much, Rocking with the Truth, for the $5 super chat. It says, Journalist Jane, you are the sugar honey iced tea. Thank you so much. Here go the co-host acting up. What, Leo? What is it? We almost done, so we can give you that other half of your payment. Come on. All right, come on. Come on, because we trying to get the people the sticky note. And here you go. Come on. Come on. Me. You holding people up from getting their word. The people are here to get the word. Do y'all see this harassment? Here, come on. Get on this side. Get on this side first. You need to be on this side. Come on. Get over here. Okay. All right. Get over there. Damn. Chew it up. All right. All right. That's it. That's it. Can the people? I can't believe you destroyed this collar this way. It looks so bad. It got me looking so negligent. All right. Can you get down? Because this collar looks horrible on the camera. Can you get down? Can you get down? You need to get down. Come on. Thank you. It's so hard having a co-host because you gotta keep your co-host on task. Otherwise, you'll let your co-host derail the whole show. Leo, you're not about to play with that bag while I'm sitting here. Be on the thing. All right. You messing me up. I'm trying to get these people they spiritual vitamin, they motivational note. Leo. Leo, I'm about to put you out. You about to have to get on. Okay? Leo. Get down. Get down. It's not a thank you, because it's not a question. Look. Y'all. Not the Discord saying we need to have a mod meeting about about Leo's collar. He's gonna destroy everyone. That's why I'm trying. I need to get him a metal one that fits. That's the thing. All right. Let's get into today's sticky note. Let's bring it back, because y'all know these sticky notes. I craft all of these sticky notes myself. These are my own words, my own motivational words, not anything I found off of a little motivational quote page, whatever the case is. But it's stuff that helps me. It's stuff that helps me, and me sharing this stuff. I realize that sharing my own personal motivational quotes, it helps you all. And that is the reason why I do my sticky notes. So today's sticky note is this: the most powerful form of activism is healing your unresolved trauma. And so when I say that, I talk about it specifically because there are a lot of different ways that you can heal your unresolved traumas, a lot of different ways. But when I was actually formulating this quote, I actually took it to your inner child. And when you talk about your inner child, think about making your inner child happy. Making your inner child happy is a form of self-care with eternal benefits. They're going to last forever. Everyone's inner child is not happy, is not pleased. We have issues with what happened to us, how we were raised, what variables or what circumstances we had to experience that we had no control over. And even if you felt like you had a remotely, enjoyable childhood, it's still important to go back and tap into that inner child, because your inner child is still very much a part of your adulthood, whether you want to believe it or not. And so making your inner child happy, it is a form of self-care with eternal benefits. And working on your inner child, it allows you to travel back and experience pure, unadulterated innocence and happiness, whether you're experiencing it again or if you're experiencing it for the first time ever. Making your inner child happy, it gives you the opportunity to adjust, to re-experience, or create new memories. The joy encapsulated within that experience, it will remove stagnant bitterness. It'll recalibrate your present day person. And it's so rewarding to hit your own inner jackpot, because after all happiness shouldn't always be outsourced. If you're always outsourcing your happiness, that means you're always looking for something or someone outside of yourself to make you happy. And there are lots of different ways that you can feed yourself with joy, happiness, and positive experiences that are conducive to your growth or your healing. So when I say that the most powerful form of activism is healing your unresolved trauma, for me, my inner child is something that I work on healing all the time. I didn't have the worst childhood, right? But I damn sure didn't have the best childhood. And so making my inner child happy, my inner child is what makes me so me. It's what makes me so fun. It's the source of my sense of humor and the benefits of really healing that little girl. That little girl always stays with you. That little girl or boy, whoever I'm talking to, or non-binary individual, that person, it kind of does define who you are as an adult. You catch people, you see people who have had the most hell-filled childhood, and they are full of rage as an adult. They're always angry. They're always bitter. They're holding on to that experience. And I'm not saying that their feelings, their hurt feelings about their childhood aren't valid, but at some point you've got to heal that inner child. Don't think that you just left that child behind and you only got to heal the person that you are now. You have to go back and re-experience your childhood but recreate it though through healing. What were you missing then? And what can you give yourself now? How would you reimagine your childhood in the best way possible? And you're either going to be reliving good experiences or creating new experiences within that childhood. That's either going to help you, how you raise your kids, how you interact with your nieces and your nephews, your grandchildren. That stuff is important going back. But hey, if you don't think it's important to heal your inner child, then your adulthood is just going to be as hell-filled as it is. But going back and revisiting that person and comforting that inner child, when you go back to those experiences that weren't as positive, and you find a way to comfort that inner child and let them know it's okay. It's not your fault that you experienced this. You were 8, you were 12, you were 15, and re-experience those times. And sometimes I think Real Talk with Yanni is her channel. Spoke about doing childlike activities to really tap into and connect with your inner child. Your inner child is a person that is inside of you. And if you only have a negative relationship, if you hate it, if you hate your inner child, if you hate, because you're connecting your inner child to that, you might hate whatever happened, what was when you were a child, but you can't hate your inner child, and you've got to go back and heal it. If you want any, chance at being a productive adult who's not passing down the same traumas who you felt like were inflicted upon you. So that is today's sticky note. When I talk about the most powerful form of activism is healing your unresolved trauma. It gives you the opportunity to adjust, to re-experience, and to create new memories. The joy encapsulated within that experience will remove stagnant bitterness, because how many times do we find ourselves or other people who we know who are bitter based off their childhood? I have to catch myself sometimes. I get bitter based off of how my mother treated me, how she didn't treat me, what she did for me, what she didn't do for me, how she felt like, oh, well, I bought you these expensive new school clothes. What the fuck are you upset for? That doesn't make you a good parent, throwing money at me. Why were you emotionally unavailable? And, a lot of times you'll find yourself in a relationship with somebody and they do some foul stuff, and you'll try to hold them accountable. First thing they'll say, well, my childhood, I never got this in my childhood. That's why I'm like this today. That's not an excuse to mistreat people in your adulthood based on what you've experienced when you were a child. And that's why it's important to go back and to heal that child. And so sometimes I got to catch myself, and sometimes I find myself not having the bandwidth to really accept other grown people who, when they mistreat me or cross the boundary with me, they use their childhood as an excuse. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. It's not. All of your happiness shouldn't be outsourced. So take a chance at hitting your own inner jackpot by healing your own inner child and creating some good memories. It may be throughout me time. It may be with meditation, right? When you sit back and you go back to the smell, a certain smell that reminds you of your childhood, and you're like, oh, this is when I used to get my hair done. I used to smell coconut. For me, the hair grease that my mother used to use, it was coconut. So sometimes I smell coconut and it takes me right back there. It smells like TCB hair food. And I remember my mother popping me upside the head with the brush, but then I have to remember the good parts and reimagining other parts. So sometimes you really have to get into your own mind before you let your mind take over you. And that's what I mean by this sticky note. So if that sticky note resonated with you, healing yourself, hitting your own inner jackpot, nurturing and taking care of being who you wanted someone to be to you when you were a child, be that to your inner child. If you wish you had adults who paid you attention, who cared about your feelings, who were emotionally available, be that parent, be that person, be emotionally available for your inner child. I promise you, it's going to help who you are right now. And if that sticky note resonated with you today, make sure you comment down below. I'm doing me, so I know it's real. Shout out to the people who literally comment, I'm doing me, in the chat and in the comments when I give these sticky notes. it makes me warm all over. And I'm honestly holding back a little baby cry right now, because the whole time I've been talking about getting back to your childhood, I'm actually back in mine right now in my head, because all I'm talking about is childhood, 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 childhood. So look, that's today's sticky note. Okay. Let me know how y'all did you feel it? Okay. Did you feel it? Yes, the TCB hair smell. Like I smell that. If I smell something that reminds me of the pink oil moisturizer, I'm right back in my childhood. Like there's certain scents, certain words, certain perfumes. If you ever walk past an elder or older lady and they smelled like your aunt or your grandmother or your mom, it'll put you right back there in an instant. For me, like I have those sensory reminders. And so there's a lot that can take you back to your childhood, but don't let every time you think about your childhood, don't always let it be bad. You know, what were the great parts about it and what would you have changed? And forgiving yourself and realizing that the stuff that you endured that wasn't as positive, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. People around you were doing the best that they could do, or all that they could give at that time. If they gave you bull crap, it's because they couldn't give you more. You have to accept, and that's the childhood aside, right? Sometimes we have to be realistic with what we expect from people. Have you ever been in a relationship and kind of wanting more or demanding more from a person, and they really couldn't give you more because they were just like at that level? You can't expect more from people than what they can give. And if people are giving you scraps, understand that that's all that they can scrape up and give you. They don't have enough care or concern for you. And you've got to move on and forgive them. But just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you got to reconnect with them or maintain a connection with them. Okay? So shout out to the people who are saying, I'm doing me. Thanks for the transparency. Thank you, Harold. I really do appreciate that. Shout out to Baltimore. Ultra Sheen. Yeah, when I smell oil sheen or hairspray, it takes me back there too. It takes me back there too. It does. There are several smells that take me back to my childhood. But look, that was the sticky note. Okay? That was today's sticky note. I hope it resonated with you. They definitely helped me. When I give these sticky notes, it's not just let me motivate them and I've already learned this lesson and I'm about my way. No. I'm definitely still always I'm a student of life, so I'm always kind of learning something and going through something, believe it or not. I'm a really emotional person, believe it or not. I'm not sure if y'all can catch that or not, but I'm a really emotional person. So that's today's sticky note. Listen, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you for checking the community tab. Thank you so much for subscribing to the backup channel. Okay. If you haven't already subscribed to the backup channel, make sure you do so. It is at TPJ Network. It's the third link down below in the description box. I'm probably going to end this video and add it to the title just so y'all know how to find a sister. Let me see how many characters we got left. I'm going to add it now. I'm gonna go, oh damn, too many characters. Can't add it. And that is it. I don't think anyone called in, but if they did, honestly, I was not even looking at the queue to see if they did. If someone was trying to call in, I wasn't looking. I was so into the sticky note that like I couldn't, I wasn't, if someone did call in, I didn't see it. So I'm so sorry if someone did. Rocking with the Truth says, Jane, thanks. You're truly a queen. Much love always. Stay safe. Thank you. I appreciate that. Honestly, I'll be live again before 11 o'clock. We're going to talk about this Black church thing. Not the Black church in its entirety, honestly, because there's enough to talk about when we talk about Bishop Whitehead, Bishop Lamar Whitehead, what happened with him, Larry Reed Live, what happened with TD Jakes. And look, y'all, I got some thoughts. I'm not sure if they're unpopular opinions or not, because I don't like listening to a lot of other people's opinions before I give my opinion about a certain subject, if that makes sense. So yeah, I definitely want to talk about it because I'm not buying the robbery scene. I'm not buying it. And I'll tell you why in the video later on. But listen, don't forget to do something to decompress today. Don't forget to do something to decompress today. Thank you for subscribing if you haven't already. It's still 150 of us here. Listen, if all of you all would subscribe, it would make my day. What else do I want to say? Comment down below. Keep it sticky and real based on any and everything we've discussed today. For all the channel members, listen, the Beyonce boxes were sent out. What's today? Is today the 29th? The Beyonce boxes, I guess you have until June 29th to buy the damn Beyonce boxes. I'm waiting for them to get sent out because, 3 of my channel members are winning the Beyonce boxes that I'm going to send to you all. And I'm really excited to send that to you for all of my channel members. So that's one of the perks for the people who are channel members. I think that's about it. I think that's about it. The community tab. Make sure you check the community tab if you haven't already. And I'm going to get out of here. Okay? Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and thumbs up or down. Either way. I appreciate it. But be sure to hit that notification bell. A lot of people haven't been getting the notifications. But I hope that you get your notifications. Make sure, even if you've already hit the bell, just hit it again, unhit it, hit it again, turn it to all so that you don't miss out on any of this celebrity or trending syrup. Because things are always sticky in Hollywood and in real life. Drop some pancake emojis down below. And to all of my stickies who are here under the sound of my voice, make sure that you stay beautiful, black, and blessed. Until the next video. I'm going to see y'all in about 40 minutes.
But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen, or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.